How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another episode of No Excuses with your favorite show hosts, Ara Still.
Venurian.
And Volacel, wishing everybody a very happy Easter on the solemnity of solemnities. And we're here to bring you the latest news and games coverage for the week that was.
Yes, indeed. Oh, I haven't posted a Boomer Easter meme. I think I got some. Hang on, where's my folder?
Oh no.
Why does it have to be a boomer one specifically?
Is there a particular reason behind that?
I don't know. Oh, this one's slightly less Boomer than normal. This will work for this year's Easter meme.
At any rate,
Right.
if you'd like to get involved with the show, you can do so by sending us email at noexcusesvtw@gmail.com, or you can follow us on the Twitter at noexcusesvtw, or you can join us in the Discord server, which you can get to by clicking on the link provided in the show description underneath the archive on YouTube.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. You can witness firsthand Aristotle's terrible dad humor.
So yes, this week on the show, Fern has joined us in Wua, so me and Vol have busted out the low-level characters to follow him around.
I should be progressing on the story, but it's kind of reached a point where I really need to pay attention. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to miss a good chunk of the rest of the story. The deeper, and it only gets better the deeper you go into it.
The first chapter is just it's all right, but it's just kind of there for the most part.
Have you done the first chapter of Renacia?
Well, I'm out into the main field, I suppose. I mean, not first chapter, the first major arc, one long.
Oh yeah, it is just kind of there.
Yeah, the Black Shores is better. It does kind of run at a pretty brisk pace for the most part, but it also doesn't waste time faffing about. It just gets in and tells what story it needs to. And then it also introduces a whole bunch of concepts which it really doesn't explain.
Holy crap, Lumi! You zoom around really fast, girlfriend. Guess you
Lumi
are.
zoomy.
It's a courier.
I guess you are Amazon Mouse.
She's Kirara,
Amazon Mouse.
except a mouse instead of a cat.
Amazon Mouse runs around going pew pew, as it turns out.
Yeah, with her, if you start dashing and just take your finger off of the stick, she just keeps dashing.
Right. Just keeps on going, does she? Oopsie.
Yes, she do, and it's incredibly disorienting. I understand why nobody plays this character.
Because she's just too zooms. Too many zooms.
She doesn't stop.
A bell. Can I touch it?
It's false bell.
It's a bell.
Feng shui
Right,
bell.
we can dive into weeks then, if there's nothing else.
Yep.
I've been fairly light on again for the video this week. I'm starting to try and drag myself back into it because life has just been busy. But yeah, still chipping away at Monster Hunter Stories 3, which is still proving to be enjoyable and fun. But I also stuck a toe into Final Fantasy 14 again. Just one toe. I'm eager to see what Beastmaster is all about. So I jumped back in just to basically knock the cobwebs off.
I see.
There was a sign though. I logged in, and where I had logged out, suddenly there was Nashu. So I just had to go and do Hildebrand first. Unfortunately, because of the way Hildebrand works, it means I can only do the first chapter, and then I need to go and do the MSQ, which involves Wuklamart. And yeah. Wuklamart, she's still there.
Yeah, that's the other thing about going back to Final Fantasy is even if they did put out an update I thought was good enough, it has to be so much good enough that I'm willing to sit there and choke down the rest of Wuklamot's story.
Yes. Like, a bulk of it's over, but it's not completely.
Yeah, the secondary antagonist has to show up and...
all of
Would
that.
Lamar save the day, I guess.
I want
I
her
mean,
to fail. I want Woklamat to fail horribly. She needs to fail.
about the only satisfactory answer you're likely to get to any of the questions left to the main story of Dawn Trail was who the mama.
Udamama.
Yeah,
Udamama.
this still bugs me to this day that this was not addressed in the main story.
Particularly whose mama? Woklamat's mama.
No, no, the prince of
Oh, no, that's the subject of the first part of the follow-up story.
yeah.
Jumps like Woklamat is there, but the prince is the kind of the focus. Which is good, because I actually kind of like the prince. He's cute. In a weird lizard kind of way.
I don't like the lizard people's design. Part of it is maybe I'm just
I'm
soured
not
on
really
Dawn.
a fan either.
Like part of it is I'm not very forgiving towards it because I'm soured on Dawn Trail in general. But part of it is I
Yeah.
just genuinely don't like the lizard design. it's
It's
not zero part of it.
yeah, but I'll see where they're going to take it. Like, if any story that involves Woklamat being on the sidelines, I'm happy with. If it means going through and talking about Lizard Prince's mum for a while, then that's fine. But as for Hildebrand, no Hildebrand is in Hildebrand. You have Inspector Hardyboiled instead. It's about as subtle as you might expect.
I see.
So you've basically run into a man who looks like Hildebrand, except 30 years older and competent. And
Competence
he
in my
eats,
Hildebrand.
I know, right? And he eats hard-boiled eggs, because of course he does. Looks like this time the Warrior of Light's not is just going to be playing the willing accomplice role instead of the various other roles you've played in the Hildebrand quests. Like, you're there and you're just going to get caught up in the goofiness. You're not there as a amused spectator or anything like that this time. But that's about as far as I've gone. I need to go in and basically redo just about everything because it's been so long. Also, I need to go and reclaim the money that I invested in my house. That's probably still sitting there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm gonna have to sort all that when I come back. And my house wasn't like Vols. There was a lot of crap in that house.
Yeah.
There was a lot of crap in mine as well, but it was all in storage.
Yeah, I opened the inventory. It was like, okay, what the hell was all this crap? And what does my armor look like out of the glam? Oh, that's right. I look like a biker club gimp under that because I'm wearing that armor set. And I'll
Why?
probably turn the glam back on. You didn't? Oh, right. You guys probably haven't seen that armor set because it's an aiming set. But yeah, there's one that's all leather and straps and spikes.
I mean, it's possible, but my thing was
Another mimic.
most of them are mimics.
Why is it always mimics?
There are a lot more mimics than real chests in Renacida.
That's rude.
They will also respawn.
Oh well.
No, there is a Chivo in the vault that gives you some astrite for finding all of the mimics in one session.
Okay.
They are very well hidden, some of them. Like, bordering on, how is that not out of bounds? Well hidden.
That's interesting. At least letting you explore like that, encouraging you to explore like that.
Well, they did give you wings. And
Yes.
a bike.
And then regretted it.
The bike ain't much of a step down in terms of raw space it lets you traverse.
Drop sheep on everything.
Let me such a
Battle wells and diggy duggies. Why?
Oh, okay. When you're stuck in this, the little mouse. Okay, so it's when you're in shooty mode that he does it. That you get stuck in the run animation, and the mouse will just keep shooting.
Oh, okay. That explains all the random pew pews.
Yeah, you dash faster in this mode. Like you have a mini version of those little cat paws, but it just you can't stop it.
Oh, I'm apparently unable to do that. All right, fine. Ah, yes, the great currency, money.
Your money.
A box with money in it.
No.
Money.
Everything has money in it, and it's one of your early tickets to getting out of poverty because you can turn it in for all kinds of basic stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you can.
You need a lot of it, but it comes out of everything that breaks. So
Yeah,
Yeah, so just break everything.
like if he can go to it, there's a ton of breakable crap. Where are we on the map? Yeah, he's already
Hang on.
found Laura. He's found Lorelai's home. Stuff over there,
Yeah, there's
and
a bunch of stuff I think I've found and broke.
there's a bunch to the south of Lorelai's house. There is a daily cap on it, but it's astronomically high, and basically, unless you're playing co-op, you're never going to hit it.
Right.
or doing that one quest in the space station in La Haroy.
Yeah, where the loot never ends.
Yeah. Uh, really, it's Final Fantasy. That's all I have on it so far. I haven't done a whole lot. Mostly, it's just getting my bearings in there again. But I'll slog through the MSQ. That way, I'm at least prepared for when the expansion comes out. We'll find out what the expansion is in a few weeks at the fan fest.
Well, if you're
I,
planning on checking it
I,
out, I'll use you as my report feature. Tell me if it's any
I
good.
want to be won over by it. There's a part of me that really wants to be won over by it, but my level of cynicism has gotten so high that, like, eh, it's just a function of how injured I felt by the betrayal that was Dawn Trail. Because, like, at this point, it would be easier to win me back over to World of Warcraft, because at least my
Oof.
expectations for World of Warcraft are really low.
They are. But yeah, they've just put out their new expansion, or I think, and it's exists. I haven't heard anything either yay or nay on it, honestly.
Hey, Diggy Duggy. Bye.
But yeah. Um. Well, at this point, I think everyone's basically figured out their expectations for it, and it's not going to really sway people one way or another.
Yeah, it's like
The
you're
people who,
either you're on Team Shell or you've given up on World of Warcraft at this point.
yeah, yeah. If you're in, you're in. If you're not, then it's not going to get you in. Despite what they do for the new player experience, which is absolutely appallingly bad.
I'll figure out what combination of feng shui heals.
I don't know how to make it happen. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah, the mouse is about to die. What was that? Okay, it's dead.
Still,
All right. Yeah, Monster Hunter. Not much more to tell on that front. It's still Monster Hunter stories. I've more or less said everything there is to say on it beyond pushing through the story. But it is very easy just to fall down the environmental restoration hole and just grind up monsters just to restore the send them out into the wild to see what subspecies you unlock. Yeah, mimic. One annoying part is that it's not really annoying. It's just a side project, I guess. Is some of the areas in a given zone will be significantly higher level, so you can't unlock them straight away, which is annoying because one of them I know I will be able to go and get a laggy, and then breed it up and get ivory laggy, and I can't do that because the zone's too high. They're keeping me from my boy. Hang on, treasure chest here somewhere.
Yeah, you just walked right by it. There's one more treasure chest, by the way, Fern.
Get all the echoes.
You can use your sensor, by the way, in these areas to highlight treasure chests.
Oh, that's convenient.
That's how you're supposed to clear them out.
And yep. Honestly, I keep forgetting that the sensor exists until a quest reminds me of it. It's up top. Okay.
Standing beside it.
And Encore just keeps saying bar treasure over and over.
Treasure.
Get off the wall.
That tune's going to change. It's going to go from get off the wall to get on the wall as soon as you get in La Haroy.
Oh, it also highlights which is a mimic, but I think you can kind of tell.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
No, it's not that the appearance of the chest doesn't tell you anything.
No,
No.
if you use the sensor on it,
So-
it'll put the.
I know
enemy-
you can. If you, I know that you can tell by using the sensor, but he probably hasn't seen any real ones that look like that yet
Oh,
because they're really deep into the zone.
Yeah, okay, so there's real chests that look like the mimic chests with the
Yeah.
scale pattern and things on them. Okay.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah, alright. Yeah, honestly, that's it for my week. It's been a very dead week. Unless you want to talk about building a new fence, because that's been a good chunk of my week.
Australians and their fences, and the
So,
terrible
gotta
movies
keep-
they make about them.
Got to keep them rabbits out and the terrible movies.
hey, a fence finally ended the Emu War.
It did. And it's honestly what they should have done in the first place, but yeah, you give a guy a gun and he's going to want to play with it.
I'm incredulous that anybody thought that a fence would work on rabbits, though.
I mean, yeah. The history of Australia is full of things that seemed like a good idea at the time. And really, really aren't. I'm going to stand over here and explode. There we go. All right, so I'm going to leave my week at that because I don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Right. I guess we can jump to my week then, which does not have as much to talk about in terms of just the raw content I was hoping to. For single player stuff, and I'll put all the gotcha stuff aside and do that at the same time as Vol's week, because that made up the end of my week, because the single player stuff I did this week did not amount to nearly as much as I was hoping.
Oh.
So, as I've been saying before, I've been going through the Yakuza games again, and wanted to get to the end of the block of stories that take place chronologically between Judgment and Lost Judgment. So that would be Judgment, Yakuza 7, and like a Dragon Gaiden or Yakuza 7.5. They happen at the same time. And then Lost Judgment, and then the Kaito Files. So I posted somewhere video games. Right, so this is all the stories that take place between 2018 and 2022 in universe. So Judgment is 2018, Yakuza 7 and Gaiden are late 2019 to early 2020. Lost Judgment takes place in 2021, and Kaito Files takes place in 2022. And this is also the end of the Hawaii arc. So I had finished Lost Judgment the week before, and talked about that. And I loved Lost Judgment. I thought it was great. I thought the Kaito Files were great. Just probably a contender for my favorite game in the series, with my only wish that it was a bit harder and enemies had more health, because the combat system is so fun. Let's see. Like a Dragon Gaiden is the last game to come out in release order for this block, because I'm playing them in release order. And it follows the adventures of Kiryu while Yakuza 7 is going on. So you may remember, I don't know where you stopped in Yakuza 7.
Where did I stop? The Majima fight, I think.
Okay, so you're right.
The wall.
You are literally right before the point where I could spoil freely.
Yeah, but no, I kind of hit the Great Wall of Majima.
Yeah. Just spend an hour in the battle arena and you'll get over that hump.
Oh yeah, I'll just go and beat up on the tower for a while.
But yeah. So Fern really does not like unlocking waypoints. Oh no.
Oh, I'm going to unlock a waypoint over here.
Oh, okay. It's just on the map.
Oh,
I had to get close to
They
it for
stay red.
That's right.
Oh
They
yeah,
stay red unless you go near them. So it's because it's
Yeah.
co-op.
Yeah.
It only updates in real time on Fern's screen.
Yep.
which is another thing they need to fix.
They'll never fix that one. That's so low on the priority list. But
Hang on, we can still fly here, can't we?
mm-hmm. You can fly everywhere until you get to Laharoy. Then you gotta take the bike.
Whee!
Where was I going? Right. So obviously, Kiryu is around and involved in the events of Yakuza 7, and specifically the events that Fern is right at with Watase. So I won't say what for Fern's sake, because it's kind of the whole shtick.
It's the big reveal, so yeah.
But how Kiryu gets involved with this and what he's doing in the background is the point of this story. Now, here's the thing. There ain't a whole lot of story to tell there. When you really get down to it. They have to contrive a whole lot of BS to extend the length of the game and the main story. Because there just ain't a whole lot to work with there when they're working with a popsicle stick budget for this game. Because Gaiden was made on the cheap. Holy crap. You know how you go to Sotenbori in 7 and for like one chapter and then never again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, well, we have this entire map of Sotenbori that we didn't get to use for like anything. We'll just make an entire game around it. So they dump you at the start of Gaiden in the very bottom left corner of a Gensho near the homeless camp. And you are there for half of a chapter. Or no, you're there for the entirety of chapter 1. And then you leave just for Sotenbori and never go back.
Oh.
And you're in
So you've got the entirety of Jinsho in there, and it's never used?
No, well, it's there, as in they just load the Jinsho map, but you can only explore the, like, bottom leftmost corner of it.
The hobo area, yeah.
The hobo area up to just south of the Chinatown streets. Not Chinatown, is it Chinatown? Not the
yeah.
The actual Chinatown, not the tourist Chinatown.
Okay, because yeah, you've got the Chinatown, you've got a tourist Chinatown, and you have Little Korea as well.
Yeah, you can't go as far north as Little Korea, or the Gimeo GR, but you can go where the Chinese mafia is, or rather, you can't go. You can't even go that far north, and you can barely make it to the sex shop.
Oh, that's only a tiny section of the map then, yeah.
Yeah, so you are not meant to explore this place. Nothing is unique to this area. You can blitz through the story area, and I recommend you do. Because early game Kiryu is stupidly weak and boring as crap to play. The boy can't do anything. He can't break combos. He has no good counters or ways to retaliate. Like,
can you imagine how frustrating it is to play? Because I was incredibly frustrated just watching you stand there and take hits.
Yeah, like you are literally just having slugfest with people. His agent, he has 2 fighting styles in this game. He has agent style, which is like secret agents, gadgets, and tools. And you only start with the wire hook, and it can only grab one enemy from a medium distance away at the start and does no damage. And after the first boss fight in Chapter 1, you unlock Yakuza style, which is a heavily modified version of the greatest hits of the various forms of Kiryu's Dragon Dojima style. And is immediately the superior option. It's not even close.
Just use that.
Yeah, for the early game, there is no reason to use Agent at all. It's terrible.
Does it get better?
We'll get there.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, after the end of Chapter 1, you unlock Yakuza style, and you go to Sotenbori, and you're introduced to the main gameplay gimmick of this entry, and that is the hyper video gamification to extend runtime of all time.
No. Unnecessary grinding?
Worse.
Oh no.
We are introduced to a character in Sotenbori called Akame, and we are not allowed to go to the quest location or progress the main quest until we build up enough reputation with her network. How do you get reputation with her network? Well, the one way you can do it is to go literally buy out every single consumable item to max stacks from all the popos and all the food stalls, and I recommend you do this because this will only get you part of the way. And then run around Sotenbori like an idiot, looking for people with exclamation points above their head who are too lazy to go buy a bento box themselves and need you to go get it for them. But if you bought out all the consumables, guess what? You can just you just have it.
Just give them a bento box.
Yeah.
Just give it.
You just give it to them.
That's why they can't get a bento box, because you bought them all, you greedy bugger.
So I do this in all the Yakuza games anyway, because it is generally just a pain in the rear whenever a side quest needs a random something, like pocket tissues, and there's always one.
It's always pocket tissues too.
Yeah, or a stymon or something from the popos. So I always just buy out the popos because it's not very long before money becomes a non-issue, especially if you know how to play mahjong. So you go through and you do this, and this will get the Akame network leveled up a goodly bit, but you're not there yet. Well, how else could you raise the Akame network, Ari? Why?
Mm.
You know how in all the other Yakuza games, there's a completion list
Oh,
of
no.
of random bullshit and minigame objectives and combat objectives and exploration objectives. Well, what if instead of that giving you, skill points like in Judgment or, cash in some of the games, or is just a way to track progress and doesn't contribute anything like in Zero? What if instead this is the main way to get reputation with the Akame network?
So it is pointless grinding.
It's worse than pointless grinding because it's not grinding enemies. You're not just going around bopping dudes on the head. No, no, no. That would be easy. No, you're going and letting the computer play shogi for you for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's padding for the sake of padding, is what that is.
Mm-hmm. And then your very first quest you get from her is not to go to the quest objective after you get the Akame network leveled up. No, no, no. You have to go meet our girl Kason in.
Oh right, I forgot she was in that game.
She's not as the NPC in this one. She's an NPC with. She's
moonlighting as a JAV actress.
Yeah, she is in glorious 4K full video 80s porno at a cabaret club,
Yeah.
and you get to go on a date with Coco at the cabaret club.
I mean, there are those who would say worth it. Those people are degenerates.
Those people are also called Coco, but
they're also called Coco.
Like the girl is the biggest Kiryu simp on the planet.
Yeah, and she doesn't even try to hide it. Let's face it.
Yeah. So, cabaret club minigame mandatory. Uh-oh, that's not good. So, what's the first thing you do? You go to GameFAQs. Do not try to do cabaret club minigames in Yakuza games without Styric's GameFAQs guides. Period. End. Just don't. Because they have arbitrary reset points that will make it so you have to redo an entire level of the affinity bar if you screw up one question, and you have no clue what the translators intended to allude to, and what the actor's intent is half the time. So just look up the answers. And some of them, I don't remember the exact questions that she asked. This is a very simplified cabaret club minigame, thankfully. It's very fast relative to the other ones. But a bunch of those questions, I'm like, Coco, that's not true. Like, Coco, you hate singing. Why are you talking about loving singing? I remember for like 3 whole years, you talked nonstop about how much you hated singing. I was there. And at the very end, and this whole thing is done in FMV, not FMV, but actual video in 4K for every question with every girl. And when you get to the end, you get an 80s porno JAV scene with the girl with just her and Kiryu.
Oh, no.
And Coco's is the most tame because it's just her doing really awkward, like bad, worst acting intentionally workout video. Like, it is clearly meant to give the 80s porno vibe.
Basically, it's Coco did what Coco does and basically made a shitpost.
Yeah. And it is far and away the most tame of them.
Oh no.
But is also in glorious 4K. These things take up over half of the install size of the game. They're so huge. They're like 40 gigs for these 5 girls. And they're 4K JAV videos.
Someone on the team might need to take a cold shower, I think.
So that's the thing. So okay, you went, worked out, and banged Coco. Now what? Well, do some more mini games. Okay, we'll do some more mini games. Okay, now we'll go to the quest objective, and you do some. You find out about the castle. The castle being the successor to in Yakuza 0, what was the underground Coliseum, a feature that has been absent since like Yakuza 5, and people have wanted back badly because it's a lot of fun. They set up a lot of cool challenge fights in the Coliseum. Everybody likes the Coliseum. Um, and you would think, oh, it's good. They brought it back. Cool. It's a beloved feature that's been absent for a while. What did they do to screw it up? Well, remember how I said you are incredibly weak in the early game?
Hmm?
This is because there is no skill points in this game. There are no skill orbs. There is no investment tree. There is just a skill list and a price for each skill.
It uses money.
Yes. And you know how you get all your money? The fucking Coliseum.
Uh,
So you start making your money, and all of a sudden, you start unlocking some abilities. And suddenly, that spider wire that was terrible now has longer range, and can pull heavy enemies, and has double damage, and does more damage the further you pull them, and you can pull up to 5 targets at a time.
that's a significant improvement.
And you get rocket boots that do damage as you zip around on them, and a cigarette that you toss that, when you're in heat mode, when you toss it, explodes instantly in a ginormous AoE explosion. And you can summon a swarm of functionally invincible drones to fight for you. So Agent Style goes from complete dog water to the most busted thing on the planet. Yakuza Style
Right.
isn't far behind, though, because, you know, you can very early on spend some of the points you get for ranking up the Akame network on some items. They're also required to buy upgrades, but they're such a trivial amount it doesn't matter. And can get an amulet that makes it so you use half of the heat you normally would when you use a heat action. So
That sounds busted.
It is, because the Yakuza style in this game has a heat action that's a single target high or extreme, damage heat action, and the only requirement is that you be in extreme heat mode, which means you press R1 once and you hold right trigger, walk up in front of a dude, and press triangle, and he's dead. And anything that is not a boss with at least 5 health bars is dead. So,
why?
I have got a chart that I made because I was so blown away by how ridiculous this was. I posted it in video games, but I'll throw it in live show chat too. That illustrates what I'm talking about here. By the time you've got all the upgrades, Kiryu doesn't have to play the game anymore. Now, all this to say,
just win.
Yeah. Despite all this, you still have to grind the Coliseum quite a bit for completion metrics if you're going for that, or just for story progression, because you have to move up the Coliseum ranks in order to progress the story. Because of course you do. It's like one of 2 major unique mini games to this game instead of the usual batch. We have 2. And the Coliseum's one of them. So you'll be playing a lot. And the problem, all this stuff is nice with Kiryu. He's really overpowered, but his animations take forever. Like, these heat actions are not fast. Now, I did the grind as Kiryu, and because I did go for 100% completion, but honestly, 100% completion is not that much more than, especially with the Coliseum, than just doing it normally.
Oh yeah, it's because you got to grind all that other stuff.
Yeah, so you're already most of the way there by the end of it. But I wish I had not been stubborn and just read the guide for once. Because this grind was incredibly boring. I haven't even got to what makes it boring. Oh, we'll get to that point now, I guess. Because how did they
Yeah.
cock it up even more? Well, remember how I said, we used to like all these unique single combat challenges that would impose interesting restrictions and make us fight unique enemies or enemies with boss movesets from the previous games and stuff, with their health jacked through the roof and their damage cranked up. Yeah, all that. Yeah, none of that's here. The Kiryu 1v1 fights are all incredibly boring. The Kiryu 1v mob fights are incredibly boring. And most boring of all is they decided that they needed to have a sub minigame within the minigame that makes up the bulk of it, where you have to recruit fighters from around Sotenbori and in the Colosseum itself to build a team of AI-controlled dudes with you in there with them and fight a big old blob of enemies.
That doesn't sound very good, yo.
No. And what's worse,
Chicken Man.
Chicken Man is there, and that brings us to the next point. You have to level up these guys. That means you just have to sit there and do this over and over again because you'll just get hard locked by the harder difficulties because your AI won't be strong enough to survive. And you need them to mob the dudes that are literally immune to hit stun. Because you'll get the good old patented old Yakuza guard bounce even though the enemy isn't guarding. Which means you can't do combos. Your combos stop at light attack 1. Light attack 1 is all you can do. You can do no damage to these guys. So you need your AI.
Annoying.
Yeah, you need your AIs to be able to hit them. Now, the caveat with this system is you can instead, in these particular fights, control any of the AI characters that you want instead of Kiryu if you'd like. Now, on the surface, this seems like it would be a really bad idea. Because, well, they only have one skill and a basic combo, and their stats are way lower. Why in the world would you want to do that? Well, because Chicken Man.
Chicken Man.
I got a picture.
I suspect I know where we're going here already.
You probably do, because you've probably done the cinema minigame
Yes.
in what you call it. I just gotta find where I put Chicken Man. There it is. And if you read that skill description, you'll understand.
Yep.
Fires a machine gun. And
Just close them down.
guess what doesn't care about a guard bounce stat? A machine gun. And I just was, after I beat the game and looked this up, I was so mad I didn't do this. Because Chicken Man just can sit there and insta-clear an entire wave of dudes.
Chicken Man just casts gun and wins. That's all there is to it.
Yes. I mean, he is late into the Colosseum and expensive, but that's when the elite enemies with the auto bounce are the biggest problem. So yeah, that was awful. Did not enjoy that. And you can also do 3 more girls at the Colosseum because it has its own cabaret club.
Because of course it does.
Really? Is that what the world needed?
Yes.
Apparently.
And these are actual JAB actresses, so we get naked in a bathtub. With the most convenient bubble censorship you've ever seen. And, by the way, Ari, I thought you were just flipping through the girls other than Kiryu. Well, I would love to skip the JAB cutscenes, except the game won't let you.
They pay a lot of money to these actresses, and they're going to get their worth out of it. Damn it!
You know it. Oh boy. Also, come touch this thing so I can see the map.
I'm coming. I'm gonna come touch it. but there's a thing up there that it wants touching as well.
Oh my.
This is not the right choice of words when talking about the JAV actresses.
No, no, it is not. They paid good money for this, and you're going to sit down and watch this random Japanese girl you don't know play in a bubble bath. Okay.
Okay, I
But
guess.
now we know where the budget went.
Yeah. So, yeah. The other thing to keep in mind is Sotenbori is tiny as a city. It's the smallest city of all the main explorable Yakuza cities, and it's part of the reason it doesn't show up very much. It was Majima's dedicated city in Yakuza 0, where he spends most of his time, and it shows up very briefly in Yakuza 7, and I think again in 5, I would say, for a brief bit, but Sotenbori is just not very big. Like, there's a river that has tourist boats going down it. You've got two bridges across that river on the east and west side. You've got a northern strip and a southern strip, and that's it. That's Sotenbori. And the strips are not very long.
Mm-hmm.
And
At least this river's not corpsey like a Jinsho is.
Oh, well, a Jinsho's problem is, have you seen that thing? That thing looks like it's made of pollution.
It is so scungy.
It just
And then you've got the policeman who's getting worried about a man who's peeing in it because, dude, that's probably actually improving things.
Yeah, like the Jinsho River is like, the only thing good about that river is it probably makes Captain Planet cry.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, no, Sotenbori River is perfectly fine though. It's a normal river. Because Sotenbori is a big tourist spot.
Yep, so it's clean.
But yeah, the part about it being tiny isn't that there's not a lot to explore. The game is short, so a smaller explorable area is fine. The problem is, because it's so small, its enemy density is through the roof for one of the action Yakuza games. Like, these dudes are just everywhere. Every corner has, like, and the enemy encounter rate is high and their density is high. That means you go in and there's like 5 or 6 dudes. And until you get to the Coliseum, just trying to get between locations to play minigames, you're like, oh, I gotta slog through how many dudes to get there? I'm just trying to go get to the bar that has pool in it. Like, it is just really weird. So, okay, fine.
Hey,
Mick. That's all not good. What else have we got? I mentioned 2 mini games. What's the other one? Well, they brought back the fan favorite.
I know.
So, a lot of people like this one, but I think they like it for, the story and the setting that it gave, less than the gameplay. And that's Pocket Circuit. So Pocket Circuit's back. You haven't played Yakuza 0, have you, Fern?
I have, yes. I remember Pocket Circuit.
Okay. So, for those that don't know, Pocket Circuit is a thing I had something very similar to these when I was a kid
Oh yeah, everyone did.
in the early 90s. But they were apparently really popular in the 80s. And they're little RC cars that you can customize and race on a track. And this game is about autistically customizing your RC car as you unlock more parts to take it to races and challenge other racers and win tournaments and get prizes. And they justify this as Pocket Circuit's totally making a comeback, guys, in Sotenbori. And but the only people that want to use it are people that grew up in the 80s and 90s. So we've made a bar, and we make all of our profit through selling drinks and parts. But you could just come here and race and participate in the tournaments for free.
I mean, there actually used to be a place like that back in the 90s in Townsville. And that's how they made their business, is they basically did Pocket Circuit.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a reasonable business model, provided that, you're not in our era where the government wants to shut any such business down
Yes,
by
but no.
using oppressive regulation.
Yeah, they would.
In those days, though, it was a lot more free spirited,
Yeah,
so people could get shit faced while playing with their autistic little cars.
yeah. That
It was a great time.
they used to sell beer at Chuck E. Cheese.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, like
It was the only thing that made you not want to kill yourself.
yeah, like nothing about Chuck E. Cheese is high quality, but
No,
if you need your kids distracted and need to get drunk for a while, like just in the words of the fat electrician, show them to the rat casino.
I mean, we see pictures and things of the average Chuck E. Cheese over here, and that's a nice way to put of it. They look like hotels for disease.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get the most extreme accounts because you're on the internet, but
oh yeah,
yeah, there
but
were
even so, it's like the costumes look cheap, the food looks terrible, the floors look sticky, and it's full of children.
yeah, it's
I've never been to a pub where the floors weren't sticky. I don't know if that place
It's-
exists.
I mean,
That's true.
at least when you go to Waffle House and the floors are sticky, you know it's because of the syrup.
Really? I thought it was blood.
I mean, depends on which Waffle House, but the
And what
primary
time of day?
like the primary culprit is usually the syrup.
Usually. That.
So yeah, that's a thing. I'm not a big fan of the pocket circuit thing, and it starts to get really tedious once you reach near the end of it because you can't cheese pocket circuit as a mini game. This is probably another reason people like it. You can't find a build and just take your optimized pocket circuit car to every race. Each race has a cost budget and each part has a cost to it. And as you go up and up, you can get higher cost parts and the budget goes up. So the combination of parts you can use on your car increases and you start unlocking extra slots on the car for stabilizers and wings for jumps. Or front wings, I mean, not wings that literally let the car fly. We're ostensibly still playing realism with our pocket circuit car. So it's a little weight you put on the front of the car to stabilize it if it has to hop, and stuff like that. And while you're racing around the track with your customized RC car, if you've made it too fast and it starts to wobble and fall off the track, that would get you DQ'd. You can tap circle to cheer on your car to magically get it to get back on the track.
That's not how that works.
And
I guess, I suppose.
Yeah. So it is very, very detailed and put together because it's the only minigame they spend any time on. I'm just not a super big fan of the mechanics of Pocket Circuit itself. So once I got to the point where it cost $45 for the Pocket Circuit cars, I just looked up what parts to use because I didn't want to sit here all day autistically trying to figure out which Pocket Circuit car parts work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cost 45 races, which is the highest cost. So I didn't participate in the tail end of that mini game, but it do be what it is. And of course, Pocket Circuit Fighter is back. Although you meet a girl who is young and peppy and into Pocket Circuit, and being mentored by him to succeed him as the next master of Pocket Circuit.
Does she also get a highly elaborate cutscene?
I mean, she gets more involvement than a lot of NPCs in this game in the main story, in that she is interactable around town.
That's something, I suppose. I know, I got.
Accidentally placed a marker on my map. So yeah, that's the other minigame. And yeah, the game is just very video gamey. Like, get enough points on this point ladder to progress the main story, to unlock more of the Coliseum, to then do more fights and rank up in the Coliseum, and then you can progress the main story a bit more. Like, it's best as soon as you get to the end of chapter 2, and I'm glad I did this because it let me do the entire back half of the main story all in one shot. Just do literally everything. This is the easiest Yakuza game to 100%, and it's not even close, assuming you know how to play Mahjong.
Which I still don't.
Because there is one cheat item for Mahjong in the entire game. You cannot cheese Mahjong in this game. You have to be able to beat at least the easy, medium, and hard table once. Once each. The super special AI is absolutely cheating against you, so just use the cheat item table. You can use the cheat item there, but you need to be able to do the easy, medium, and hard one. But yeah, just do that. Do the entire Coliseum all at once, and then just play the main story. Because the story actually manages to stick its landing, which is about the only thing this game has going for it. And that it has a really, really good... The game's only 4 chapters long, plus a finale. And the 2 chapters in the finale are really good. They tell you the perspective of the chapter you're in Yakuza 7 right now from Kiryu's POV.
Okay. So is he keeping tabs on Ichiban?
Not keeping tabs on him, but he's working the same job. The events going down are significant enough in the Yakuza world, as evident by, Majima and Saejima being there. That of course Kiryu would need to be involved in this. And it fills in what you're going to find as a giant what moment in Yakuza 7, and is my only real gripe with the way the story handled this part of it. Where a major event's about to happen, you're about to figure out what everybody's deal is. And why the Omi and the Tojo are in the same building working together on something. And it's going to shake the very foundations of the Yakuza world, and the new members are not going to be happy. The younger members are really not going to be happy about it. And so, basically, we have to get as many people in this building that can throw down as we can, and we need to get every old Yakuza legend out there to come smack these kids down to stop them from being a problem. And in Yakuza 7, you only see part of this event from Ichiban's perspective. You see the very start of it. After things go down, and you fight a few dudes from his POV, and then move on with the Yakuza 7 story. In Gaiden, or this doesn't just work, because very obviously this wasn't going to convince anybody of what happened. It was not enough to get done what they said was gonna happen, but you could kind of just let it go, because it was not the stupidest thing that Yakuza's ever done, and I'm willing to tolerate a lot from the series. The entire point of Gaiden is to have Kiryu and Majima and Saejima and Daigo and Watase from the Omi, like all the heavy hitters that we know from this franchise, stroll up and beat the crap out of the strongest new people around to get them to fall in line. And that's what you do. And Gaiden has a really good villain with a very dumb and simple motivation that is just he's worked really hard for something, and you're not going to take it away from him. Period. End. It's entirely selfish when you know what it is, but you can see how he got there. He worked for a thing. He thought he was going to get a thing. He's not going to get a thing anymore.
He wants his thing.
Yeah. And yeah, you throw down with him, and he's the dude that's like the current strongest young dude in the Omi that you hear mentioned, I think, in Yakuza 7 as but you never meet him. He's He's conspicuously absent as the half of the Omi that is currently preoccupied somewhere. Well, they're preoccupied somewhere because Kiryu's got him,
Right.
and he's dealing with them. Now, this also has to. The game's other objective is to. This part of the story is all good and fine, and it has a good, nice climax that fixes that little hole in the story. Fine. The other part is to explain away some really dumb decisions made in Yakuza 5 and 6 that led the story down a really wacky path. Where they clearly didn't know what to do with Kiryu anymore. And
Because his story was kind of over.
yeah, well, they tried to make it over in 6 with these dumb decisions because they literally ran out of ideas for the guy. I mean, the dude is he's the Terminator of the Yakuza world. Like, you call him if you need something glared at angrily and then punched really hard.
He is good at very good at both of those.
Like, he is functionally immortal and is just good at punching stuff. And that's it. That's the extent of Kiryu's character.
Aside from what he do.
Aside from his stint of trying to run an orphanage, which they constantly bring up all the time. So, basically, because of the events of Yakuza 7, he had to fake his own death so that the kids at his orphanage would be left alone. Now, the kids are all adults by the time of Gaiden. But the Glowies have got their fangs into him now. He's now conscripted to work for a government organization, whether he wants to or not. And as for them, making sure that he's off the grid. And if he wants to keep the orphanage and everybody he knows safe and out of and unrelated to his life anymore, because well, when you're Kiryu Kazuma, you make a whole lot of enemies. So okay, I guess I'm not sure why we're working for the Glowies though. Don't remember that being part of the deal, but I guess it's an excuse to give you a reason to get re-involved with the plot. But yeah, there's a whole secret agent side of this that just is kind of bolted onto this story that I don't really care about. Where the Glowies have just kidnapped Kiryu and are now using him as an agent. And it doesn't get resolved by the end. He still has to work for the Glowies. But his very final scene has the most high budget, like all the budget actually went into this scene of Kiryu bawling his eyes out and like boogers running down his nose crying when he sees a video of the kids he hasn't seen in forever and that they're all doing okay after he's been locked away from them for so long. Like,
oh, that's nice at least.
Like on the one hand, oh, they actually made Kiryu have a response to something. But on the other hand, they had Kiryu have a response to something. That doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's nice. He has an emotion.
Like
just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I like they really focused the camera on his snotty boogers, and this bugged me the whole scene. And TBH,
why? Did we really need to go into that much detail?
Oh yeah, they did, because all the animation budget went into this one cutscene.
Into his cry boogers.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. All in all,
from what I can tell, Infinite Wealth is supposed to be like the end of his story, but I haven't played that one yet, so we don't know.
Yeah, and if you know anything about it, don't tell me because I'm putting it on hold for a while.
Only what's yes.
Yeah.
I can only tell you what's on the back of the box blurb, so yeah.
Yeah. So Infinite or Like a Dragon Gaiden is meant to be played before Infinite Wealth, at least the main story. You don't gotta 100% it. To do this will take you about 15 hours. So to complete the game, it would only take 20 hours. If you know how to play Mahjong. Because the only thing that's really going to put a stopper on you is having to sit there and do the shogi grind. Which isn't so much a grind as just doing what the computer tells you to do after you let the computer calculate the best move for you.
Right.
Because nobody is autistic enough, in the West especially. I have enough fingers to count them to do those shogi challenges. So
Well, I mean, they may just still be written in a book somewhere.
it's possible, but
Yeah.
Because solving shogi challenges is like solving chess challenges. There are some people who just do them for fun, like crossword puzzles.
yeah. Well, there's puzzle shogi, and those do have answers, and you can intuit your way through those. Handicapped shogi, where you progressively have less and less pieces the more you go up and have to play against an opponent that's on hard on their AI. No. They give you a cheat item for a reason with unlimited uses that lets the game play itself.
Just here, we know this is terrible. Let's just let you cheese it.
Yeah, like this. We've already built the dang mini game. Just do it. Before the cheat item existed, the most common strat was to get a shogi app or a shogi program for your PC or an app for your phone. Flip your phone upside down and just do whatever the opponent did as your move. And
You
then
can't get through there, friend.
No.
Don't waste your time trying. You get there from above.
Okay, is it story or is it through puzzle?
It's an extremely lengthy world quest puzzle.
And it probably doesn't work in multiplayer.
But yeah, you wouldn't be able to progress it because it involves a whole bunch of chess-like games.
Right.
yeah. So yeah.
Oh, hang on.
We might not
Abort!
be using the right characters for this.
Oh, those
turn.
What?
retreat.
Run away! That almost ended badly. Hang on, I'm missing it. Missed a chest.
It's something with a bit more bop.
A bar treasure. Oh, except the last chest to finish
It's
this.
right here in front of me. It's right here in front of me.
Is it?
Like I told you, that one's part of a different puzzle.
Yeah, okay. It's just highlighting. Oh yeah, there it is.
Don't know. A cartwheel can solo the Fey dudes. Probably. I don't think they're level 120. Are they?
They were 120s.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, cartwheel's not the correct
So
choice.
probably not.
Cartwheel needs a team to do damage. Well, what two-person team can we come up with to murder some level 120? Chisa. Yeah, well, Chisa cartwheel will work. Do that. You
If I cannot die.
You can get my stack counts up with Chisa.
Back in the old days of Rinashita, these level 121s could sometimes give you a run for your money.
I'm probably going to get smushed if I'm not careful. So yeah.
Yeah, you ain't the only one. I don't think I spread my cooties.
I'm not sure I'm actually doing a hell of a lot of damage here.
You're not.
No.
We're having to actually play the video game.
Yes, I'm seeing your big stupid numbers, and then I'm seeing my tiny stupid numbers.
It's stupid for a different reason.
Yes.
Oh, I had a really cool freeze frame when these things died mid animation.
Okay,
Now I can pull the mouse back out.
Are they always 4-star when you pick them up? 4 or 5-star?
No. Those ones, they are glowy. If they're glowy red ones, they will always drop an echo. but
Yep.
the Echo rarity is still based on your rarity system.
Okay, because I just got
So
3 4-star ones.
yeah, that's the chance is not the chance is just based on your database level, which is why it's
Right.
important to hunt lots of different kinds.
Unless the level 120s are exempt from that rule.
Where the
No, I
lowest they
don't
can
think
be is
that
4-star.
I don't think that there's a difference. I don't think there's actually a difference there.
Could just be luck of the roll.
Do you have access to 4 stars on your database level normally?
He
Or-
should do.
Yeah.
You usually do
Yeah, I
by the
do.
time you get to Initiator.
Okay.
Actually, it doesn't actually tell you. Hang on. Probably
If you,
doesn't tell.
if you go to Databank, it will give you all of your Databank info on the first page, which will tell you base drop rate, your highest drop rarity, and the percentage chance that you're going to get that drop rarity.
Okay, so yeah, here it is. I've got 70% 4-star, 30% 5-star. So yeah, that's
Okay.
why.
So yeah, it could fine with it. Okay. To
So,
wrap up,
go.
to wrap up Infinite Wealth, as far as completing the game goes, there is only one in-game completion metric that made my playtime 10 hours longer than it should have been. That was Steam Deck time. And I'm convinced it's bugged. There's no way this is intentional. The girl that runs the Akame network, Akame, you can give her a cigarette once every 20 minutes in game. However, and you have to give her 10 cigarettes. However, I know 20 cigarettes, sorry. Starting a minigame, going to the Coliseum, fighting in the Coliseum, doing literally anything other than just wandering around town punching dudes will reset the timer.
Oh,
Do any sub story, any quest, resets the timer. So, how do you solve this? Go to work with your Steam Deck. Set it beside you, and every 20 minutes, move over, press A, see if you can give Akame a cigarette. Do this for 2 days.
It's retarded. Why do they
That
they
is.
feel this strange compulsion to always have at least one completely retarded quest?
I have no idea.
So they just can't help themselves. We haven't put a poison swamp in here yet, guys.
Yeah, well, it's more like I think these game companies. My cynical side says they do this intentionally to get their playtime, even though they're single player games, their playtime count up, show to investors for how
Could
long,
be, yeah.
or some kind of data, some shareholder meeting somewhere that makes them look good. And that's why there's always because it's always only just one of these, usually one or two
I
that are
don't know
just
if
like
that's
these.
necessarily the case with Japanese games. I think they might just be autistic. I mean, if you consider the way the Japanese approach mastery of a thing compared to in the West, in the West we tend to approach things to master things to a pragmatic 80-20 extent for as many things as possible, whereas the Japanese will master something to 100% but only do that one thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's back in there again.
So yeah, that's the only metric that was time just vampire on the game. So at least 10 of my hours came from that because I just left the Steam Deck plugged in and beside my desk at work. And would just anytime I
Very
was
nice. We're a chest over here.
Oh.
and what else? Oh, the sub stories. The sub stories are garbage.
Oh no.
Like they're just
The woman with the blue afro.
yeah, like
Why?
she's a returning character that's been around since Yakuza 0. You know the old lady in Yakuza 0, Fern, the one that works at the cabaret club with Majima.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the leopard shirt, not the leopard print, the leopard face shirt
The leopard face shirt.
with the wacky hairdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back and assaulting Kiryu
Yeah.
this time. She was also
Right.
back in 6 in some different city.
Trauma is very real.
Yeah, Kiryu's brief encounter with her was there. That one was okay. The one with Kaito was okay. because Kaito and Sugira from Judgment make an appearance, uh, who are uh, partners of Yagami at the Yagami Detective Agency. We know about Kaito. The other guy is a reformed thief that winds up working for Yagami when everything's over. Oh, Cuddle Wuddles. Why Cuddle Wuddles? Stop chewing on me.
I'm glad I
He did.
worked out how to do the healing feng shui because I've had to spam it constantly on you. I don't know what you're doing, but you're taking like 50 times as much damage as Furnace.
Lumi just likes to go give things hugs.
All right,
Yeah.
I've hit a no fun allowed area.
Yeah, it's okay. We can break the. Oh, I can't get any more money.
Oh, you capped?
Oh, I'm capped on drops.
Well,
I may not be capped on money.
the usually you keep getting the money because there's not as many money boxes. They're a different class of item because there's a handful of different classes of breakables and they all have separate caps. It's just that there's no clarity on what things are part of what class.
Right.
Like there is like round boxes and square boxes in Laharoi that are on different drop tables, but each of those drop tables is equivalent to a different oh my goodness, I electrocuted myself. Is equivalent to a different item in Renacita. But shares a cap with one of the items in Laharoi, so you can't just change zone to reset.
I see. So yeah,
I did a great deal of experimentation to figure this out.
I see. So yeah, to conclude with it, aside from the Judgment crossover story and a couple of the other side stories, they're not very fun. And the ones that do get some chuckles are just short one-liners like or penis jokes basically. Like go find the 7 balls.
just the 7 balls. That's it.
I got a picture.
Oh no.
The visual aids have helped a lot in explaining this, I think, ever since I've started taking them for these games. Okay, I'll just drop. There's one. Yep. So you have to get an old man 7 balls, and he'll grant you a wish.
Right. He's a bit of a pervert, isn't he?
No, he's sane. You can choose to be though, and of course I did because that's the funny answer. And
Because of course you do.
And Kiri's already busted his crap. I don't need any special rewards from this, so I didn't even look up what you get.
You go this way.
So his response to the Domancer is, I'm not a god, just an old man gathering up his balls.
Got you there, I suppose.
So he gives you his underwear,
No.
which is golden
What?
and can be sold for a crap load of money.
You can't wear it?
No, you can't wear it, but you could sell it for a crap load of money. You can buy a pair of golden underwear in the
Why is it
Coliseum,
worth
though,
a crap load of money?
because it's gold.
Actual gold.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, it's worth like 1.5 million yen.
There's some expensive underpants.
It is.
That was actually the first parliamentary scandal that I recall seeing on television when I was a kid. The first memory I have of it was this particular Maori politician who had used his expense account to buy some extremely expensive underpants.
Burn, you're on your own.
Yeah, help.
Sorry, your
You'll be
mouse.
fine.
Your mouse has
I'll be
died.
fine.
But yeah, the sub stories just unfortunately aren't anything to write home about. For the most part, there's only 32 of them, and they're mostly just short, quick objective or quick little scene quests. Like the one Vol was talking about before was one of the longer ones. that's sad for a Yakuza game. Like, I know this game was made because to be a companion piece to Infinite Wealth that you were supposed to play first, and it was supposed to be short. Like, the game literally shipped with a demo for Infinite Wealth inside of it.
Like
Like,
when I watched you play a good chunk of it, and it did really just seem like they were phoning it in the entire time, to be totally honest.
yeah,
Like it did not seem like there was much love put into this. It seemed like a project that they've been told they had no choice, they had to do it. So just get it done.
yeah. It was also, I think, the first game after the Yakuza director guy left to go make his own studio. So they were floundering a bit to find their feet, and there was a constant ringing in the back of my head playing this game immediately after Lost Judgment. Like, as overpowered as Kiryu can get, I'm just sitting there thinking the whole time, why aren't you Yagami? Like, we figured this shit out with Yagami. Like, that was incredibly fun. Play as. Why are you not fun? Heck, why aren't you like Kaito? Kaito was fun. But Kiryu in this game is just either completely useless or blatantly overpowered. Sorry about that. I had people come pester me about stuff.
Nope.
But yeah. That's Gaiden. Do I recommend it? Not really. The main story's ending is okay, but just watch it on YouTube. Like the fight isn't worth getting to yourself. The Amon fight, the obligatory 100% completion reward, you get to fight the super boss. You know, I really have been spoiled by the Judgment games because both the Amon fights in those games were great and worth the multiple tens of hours of extra grind to get 100%. Because they were just a lot of fun. But not this one. No. This one's just BS. Because Kiryu's so
you said that about all the others as well.
Well, I said when I said it about Shin, I liked his stupid phone stealing gimmick, so you couldn't access your pause menu because it forced you to fight him legit in Judgment. I liked that the bonus fight against Amon in Lost Judgment, the real way to beat him, you had to do him in the special challenge mode where you also didn't have access to your items and had to beat him legit. I mean, his the meter building at the start of it was a little garbage, but that's the only part I didn't like about it, and it wasn't that bad. This is garbage. Because these fights are supposed to be ridiculous and hard. You're supposed to die multiple times, and they're supposed to not be really fair. But this one has the mechanic that everybody loves so much with bosses. It heals nonstop. And for some godforsaken reason, he is the only normal enemy in the game that has guard bouncing. Like, they no other enemy in the game has it. He does. And he heals. And healing plus guard bouncing is bad. And
it's cheese.
Paul, did you see me get in the game the stupid little hornet drones that you can summon that just gonna go bop things?
I heard you mention them, but I didn't see them on screen at the time.
Okay, you press and hold triangle, and these little drones fly in and just kind of love tap people on the head. In this Amon fight, you don't have any heat, so you can't do the super version that swarms him with drones. He drains your heat the whole fight. Because you would just be able to lock him down and one-shot him like you would everybody else in the game if you could actually use heat actions. And he will put a swarm of drones above him that's in the shape of a heart, and you have to spend, I'm not joking, 45 seconds running around in a circle, summoning your drones to destroy the heart. And just hope enough of them latch onto the drones and not him to break the heart. It's the only way to shut off the healing. and even then, you only shut it off for a little bit.
That doesn't make the fight harder. It just makes it long
No,
and annoying.
yeah, the real kicker is guard bouncing because you just cannot set yourself up for any combos. This is a brawler game. You have to be able to complete your combo and get to the finisher steps, even if it's only 2 hits long. The second you guard bounce, it resets your combo. Like, it's just bad design for a boss fight. Like, they just were like, okay, we've accidentally made Kiryu super overpowered. So instead of coming up with interesting mechanics, like, taking your pause menu away so that you have to fight him straight up and making you have to coordinate your stances to break his shields. I mean, the Roomba thing in Yakuza 6 was stupid, but that was still better than what we had here. We're going to just make it so that you have to sit here forever and and fight him with no heat. So you can't use any heat actions or go into heat mode, and you have to sit there and waste your time running around to stop his healing. Oh, and by the way, when he gets to his last 4 health bars, he switches to Yakuza style. He doesn't summon drones anymore. Now, every time he hits you, he heals for an entire bar of HP and can overheal.
Why? I mean, as far as bullshit mechanics go, that one's right up there.
Yeah. I mean, at least when he gets to that phase, if you really want to, you can just say F it and start chugging all your consumables you haven't needed for the rest of the game. But yeah, it's just not a good time. He is the most time-wasting BS Amon fight with no way to make progress or take agency yourself. Like, I've complained with the other Amons about how hard they are, but I complain in a way that I still enjoy them. Like, this was the stuff that was hard, and it kicked my butt, but I'm glad I did it and I had fun learning the fight. This is dumb, time-wasting BS in this boss fight that they had to go with because Kiryu's too busted in this game and they put no thought into balance whatsoever. Oh, I love these little puzzles from this in the middle of that gray zone. I don't think you can do them in multiplayer, but they are fun.
No, you can't.
Yeah, and that's Gaiden. Does not get a recommendation from me. I was like, especially right after Lost Judgment. Like, just go watch it on YouTube. Like, I know it's short. I know it's easy to 100%. I know it's not full price and goes on deep discount all the time. Don't play it anyway. Just don't waste
It's
your
not
time.
good.
Just don't waste your time with it. You will need to watch it for Infinite Wealth, apparently. Like, it's 100% mandatory. So you'll need to at least watch the cutscenes before you go to Yakuza 8. Or Pirate Majima, for that matter, because you need to play Infinite Wealth before Pirate Majima if you want to understand what's going on. But yeah, for Gaiden, just go watch it on YouTube. Like, this is the most phoned in Yakuza game I've ever heard or ever played, and it's very clear most of their dev team was working on Infinite Wealth, and this was a thing that they got either mandated to do or were just given the D team for.
Why couldn't it have been a DLC for something else?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't seem like a lot
DLC
of the
for
stuff you were
Yakuza 7?
doing was necessary to tell the story they needed to tell.
No. Like, if it had been a DLC, we could have cut out a lot of the you need to go stop and play shogi. You need to go stop and do pocket circuit to get your rank high enough. You need to stop and go grind the Coliseum. But yeah, it gets a not recommend. I don't have a whole lot of positives to say about it. The only positive I have is they stuck the ending of the story at least. But it is a Yakuza ending. Like it's gonna be some dumb over the top retarded bullcrap, but as long as it ends with a bunch of big muscly men taking off their shirts and punching each other real good, and the music is suitably epic, and they're shouting each other's names and jumping off rooftops, I'll take it. That is what I'm here. That's what I signed up for.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Does it have to make sense? No.
Like,
it helps, but it doesn't have to.
Like, the ending makes the most sense with what it's got. Its villain is interesting and fun. I enjoyed him a lot. And the fight with him is, if Kiri wasn't so overpowered, it has the potential to be one of the better fights in the series. Maybe if you go into it without max attack upgrades or something, he's actually a really fun fight. I don't know. I'm not playing the entire game again to find out. Thankfully, the game does not require 2 playthroughs because they just let you play on the hardest difficulty out the gate, which I'm glad I did, because while the early game is a slugfest, the late game desperately needs any teeth it can get. And I did buy the 50 million yen pair of underwear, by the way. It's incredibly busted. Because you can buy an equipable version of that dude's underwear. Your own pair from the boutique.
Yes. Not a second-hand pair.
Yeah. It costs 50 million yen.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
all the things.
That covers my single player romp for the week, because that's pretty much all I did until I did some side quests in HSR and did the Hot Pot quest in ZZZ. So, Vol, tag.
Right. So, my week sucked. They was suck. I need a new job. Anyway,
You do.
not much else to say about that. It's just it's miserable, and it's going to continue to be miserable as far as I can tell. I think generally, like if I didn't know better, I would think that the upper management was trying to make me miserable, but that would imply that they ever thought about me at all, and I don't think that they do. So, anyway, video-wise, this was kind of a dead week in a lot of ways in terms of things happening. There weren't really any major events that deployed this week or anything like that. There's just like the catch falling snacks game in Woowa. That's about it as far as new events go. So Genshin was the deadest of the dead. The only thing that happened in Genshin was the survey, which I gave a scathing review because there was literally nothing to do this entire patch. Once you've done Vaka's incredibly mid-story and the main event for the patch has gone away, there's no game left. There's nothing for you to do. So I did tinker with the survey a bit, and it turns out that the survey was structured like a choose your own adventure. Like the types of questions they ask you can change by claiming that you'd never heard of certain features, and then it will divert you onto a different question path. I tried giving an opinion on Astra Wonderland, which I've never tried, so I don't actually have an opinion on it other than I wish it wasn't there. And if you actually posit an opinion, you get put on this totally different track, completely unrelated to Genshin Impact proper, where they just ask you a bazillion questions about the minutia of Astra Wonderland, like as though it's the part that they actually care about. So that was quite frustrating to discover. But yeah, I just generally gave it a very poor review because it was a very poor patch in a lot of ways. Hopefully they can pull something good out this coming patch, but we'll have to wait and see. That should be deploying next week, I believe. So that's that for Genshin. For Star Rail, there's not like there was any new content per se, but there was I did do the Wisp Bay War thing, and yes, it is just a auto battler. But while I can't say it was good because it's an auto battler, it's kind of easy, and in the sense of it being easy, it's not just like, well, the outcome is really easy. It's more that like it feels very lightweight. It doesn't require you to sit there and watch extremely extended battles. Like most of the actual auto battle portion will be over in a couple of seconds. So if you want to speed run this, you can do the whole thing in a very short amount of time, which from one point of view is really bad because it means that it doesn't actually amount to that much game content. And on the other hand, it means you spend less time playing the sodding auto battler. which after Genshin's auto battler, I am perfectly happy to spend less time playing the auto battler because Genshin's one was awful. And if it had been like that, I would have been really ticked off. But no, it's a little bit more creative than I expected, but also much simpler and much more lightweight than most of the other ones. Like it's pared back to the absolute bare bones. You basically get a grid, you set up your dudes on it with your various buffs, position things. So buffs will give like, oh, you put a thing on the grid and the adjacent units will get buffed, etc. And you can stack units on top of each other to upgrade them, and then they get special abilities. It's all very straightforward, very simple. Doesn't require much thought. I think I lost like one round, and it was largely because I didn't understand how to play the particular team that I was playing. But that was losing one doesn't impair your progress in any way because you need to lose like 4 in a campaign to be done. And there's just five campaigns in total. And it's all very simple and inoffensive. Like it's when they get round to recycling it for the 47th time, I'll be pissed at it. But for now, it was just like a very short span of time that I spent doing a silly game for very, very silly reasons, because the in-universe story is quite ridiculous. But yeah, overall, it was the least offensive auto battler, also the least engaging intellectually. But frankly, I'm so fed up with auto battlers that I don't care if it's intellectually not engaging. I just want it to be over. So yeah. That's not really a good review, but nor is it strictly a bad review. And
No.
its qualities are mainly that I don't have to spend much time with it because I don't want to play an auto battler. This is the thing that's been really confusing and ticking me off about a lot of these gacha games, is that there seems to be some strange assumption that I don't want to play the gacha game, and that I want to play some other game except inside the gacha games framework with the gacha games characters. So no. I actually want to play the game that's in front of me. I want to see the characters do meaningful things, not just be cardboard cutouts playing another game. Like this is why I'm here. I'm not actually here to play an inferior version of some indie auto battler. Like
No, you want to play a off tune version of Audio Surf. That's what you're
I
actually
like
playing.
rhythm games. I'm willing to forgive rhythm games to some extent. But
At least it was in character for the Angels of Delusion event.
yeah, it was, and I like a lot of those songs. I mean, it gets better the better the music is, right? Like there's the instrumental music in Genshin, for instance, is quite good. Like in terms of quality of composition and production, there's a lot of good music in Genshin. The issue is not that. The issue is just that it's not very catchy or memorable for the most part compared to some of the other stuff. But by contrast, ZZZ's character EPs are actually really cool. A lot of them. Even the standing up from the toilet one is kind of memorable in its own way. But and the songs in Woowa I really like as well. One of them won a Grammy, I think. I think Against the Tide won a Grammy or something.
Maybe.
But so at least they are great songs that I like, and you listen to them all the time in game because you can hear them when you play using the motorcycle. So yeah, I'm willing to forgive the rhythm games because I feel like there's more sort of game tie in there in a certain sense. Because it's part of the experience, but you know, it's also a very lightweight experience that doesn't require a lot of like inactive waiting the way auto battlers do. Where you
Yeah.
basically spend a lot of time not doing anything at all.
Yeah, I did the HSR Auto Battler, and the only thing that stuck out in my memory with it, it's already started to purge itself, is Dr. Ratio riding in the bathtub.
Yeah, the only way it could have been improved is if it was a tub pup.
Yeah, but that's a different franchise.
Yes, unfortunately.
But yeah, I hated it the whole way through. Like I'm not.
I
There's no
I
special
was
reason for hating it as much as I did the whole way through, other than it's just another auto battler, and I'm tired of them.
I didn't experience any emotions whatsoever. Which was a strange experience in its own right. It was just I didn't really think anything about it. But the absence of active hatred was a new one for me, so I'm gonna call it a win. Because normally I detest them. But I detest the Genshin ones the most. I feel like they're the worst.
Well,
They're the most obnoxious.
they seem to put the least amount of effort into letting you get it over with in Genshin. They always find a way to make it just take way too long, or just make something really janky about it.
You're going to engage and you're going to like it.
Yeah, the tower defense one they did recently was also it really dragged. Like you turn on the fast forward thing and it makes it like just barely normal speed. If you
Oh,
don't have fast forward on, it's basically unplayable. So yeah, it's not a great experience, that one. But they keep doing this sort of thing, and instead of making it like exploration, open world adventure content, which is the whole reason people play Genshin. Like, why are you investing resources in this type of irrelevant gameplay when you could be making what people came for and you didn't add that? And a lot of people were unhappy that there was nothing to do this patch. It's not just me.
Like, what instead of all the programming time you spend on these dumb mini games, what if just once in a while, instead of doing that, you skip two of them and just make a 2 week long like boss killing event or something? Make it co-op, make it co-opable. Like that would be a good idea. That'd let people play the game. You could rerun it as much as you wanted by just changing which bosses you focus on. It could be cool.
Yeah,
You know,
well, I hope the ZZZ co-op event reviewed well with most people who gave opinions on it, because like that's what I want from my events. I don't, I can live without more Bangbu chess, thanks. Although Bangbu chess is sort of like it's less offensive than the Genshin one, I still don't want to do it.
I did not like Bangbu Chess when because it's an auto battler. But I hadn't been quite auto battler super fatigued as I am right now when it came through. But now I would absolutely detest it if it came back around again. The
Oh, and
Bangbu,
it will. You know
yeah,
it's going to. It's just
yeah,
a matter of whether they space it properly.
yeah. The one I don't mind is Bangbu Tower Defense. Oddly enough, I don't. It doesn't feel that bad to me.
No,
Uh,
I'm not a huge fan of it. I feel like it. I feel like that event is usually about 25% too long for my tastes.
yeah. I get.
I
I
feel like
guess.
it's an event that like it's probably not too bad, except that I feel like it outstays its welcome. Like there's a lot of freaking stages for each one,
Yeah.
and if you don't want to do it, that becomes incredibly burdensome.
Yeah. The one of the things that I think makes it's just a perception thing. It has nothing to do with uh the actual content itself. But because ZZZ is not an open world game and is a mission based game at its core,
You
um,
can write it off as just another type of mission.
it is much easier on the brain to accept that kind of stuff in ZZZ. But it's entirely a perception thing. It doesn't actually change its
I
substance.
do find it by far the most jarring in Genshin.
Yeah,
Because it's like you are doing something just like radically orthogonal to what you're normally doing. I can sort of accept it in Star Rail simply because, well, Stella's a goober and does all sorts of goober things anytime she's given half a chance. So there's basically nothing that's off the table or too stupid for Stell to get involved with.
yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, anyway, I still haven't sat down to try and do anomaly arbitration. Um, it's got a lot of people modding because of having both Pollux and Legus at the same time. So it's going to be one of those ones where having a combination that will get you through the night stages is going to be the challenging part, and then you just got to work out whether your most vertical team or your most meta team is going to be the appropriate choice for the final one, which is usually the thing that I've got to wrestle with. Because my most meta team is my most meta team will be the Sparksy one, right? It's got the pieces for the current Sparksy team. It does the trick when Elation is the biz, and the King Pom Pom fight relies heavily on Elation, punchline generation in order to function.
Yeah.
But my most vertical team is my Super Break team by a country mile, and it can brute force a lot of different things. But the question is, like, how influential is punchline compared to being able to just smash things for a bajillion damage?
So that's another thing. I did not know about a boss called King Pomcom because I don't follow any of the leak stuff until the stupid pop up came up when I logged into the game that a new anomaly in arbitration was out, and I was very mad. Like, I don't really care how substantive it is. The fact that it came out in game and spoiled it for me, that this is going to be a boss, just really ticked me off.
Yeah, it surprised me because normally they don't bring them out into anomaly arbitration until the patch after.
Yeah, like
That's usually the way they do it. But I think that they've just because the anomaly arbitration existing at the same time as the current story is new to 4.x, like, because it came out late in the piece for 3.x, so they already had a backlog of stuff to use. This time they're trying to keep it Plan Arcadia themed, but they don't have a backlog because we're only at 4.1. I think it was just a mistake. They shouldn't have done that. It's like, factually speaking, it has zero substance because it's just the boss is just the King Pom Pom that you see in all of the promotional material in the background. Like where you've got the inflatable Cocolia fighting the inflatable engine of creation, and then King Pom Pom's looming over the background. Like, that's literally the only relevance it has. And it does appear in the main story, and it is a boss in the main story, but there's absolutely no story relevance to whatsoever. It's just like, oh well, King Pom Pom's here, let's fight King Pom Pom. Like, you see it in, like, with it when you start the story, you're going to see it within 5 minutes, sort of thing. Where you'll see the little version of it.
yeah. But yeah, just little stuff like that about how these gacha game companies just do not cater to those of us that recognize the evil that is social media or any kind of marketing and don't engage with it. Like, I would prefer to remain unspoiled.
Yeah, they spoil all of these things. Like, I think that they just consider it to be like, as in terms of the people who are super engaged with Hoyo games, like, the portion of people who actively avoid
Oh,
their
their biggest
promotional content.
spenders are the people that are going to be obsessing over it.
Yeah, it's like, and no offense, Aristotle, but nobody cares about you because you're such a tiny minority.
Yeah, like, I mean, change. I could be one of your big spenders. All you gotta do is give me a Phoebe cheerleader outfit.
It's a dangerous precedent to set. I mean,
Yes.
Terra managed to save their entire game on that logic. So
Yes, but at what cost?
Yeah,
they were going insolvent, and then they became the Ellen swimsuit game, and suddenly they were solvent again.
we tried
Magic.
very, very hard not to think about that.
Yeah.
And then they went from solvent to printing money when they introduced the item that allows you to adjust the thickness of Ellen hips. I mean, not hips, thighs.
Yeah.
Like that. That was. I'm not going to spend too much of my effort contemplating what that means about the people who were playing.
I don't think you need to. I think it's pretty evident.
I am convinced I am the only person that played an Ellen, and the only thoughts going through my head were, "That's adorable."
Nah, probably because I saw an Ellen and I thought, nah, that's a child.
I mean, yeah, it's a child, but
I
it's
tried
adorable.
making a. I tried making an Ellen, but it just didn't stick with me. It's just like, eh. I really like this aesthetic very much.
Yeah.
That and the visual of a tiny Ellen Lancer with the big ass heavy armor and shield, I thought was just fun.
That is actually kind of fun, yeah.
I blame society and social media. What has it done to people?
Nothing
Bunch
good.
of stuff. But yeah, so that's a thing. But yeah, King Pom Pom is just a silly boss designed to be silly for silly reasons. I guess in context, like the motivation behind the battle is kind of serious, but the actual King Pom Pom is not serious at all. But yeah, I think that it is they made a bad judgment call there in terms of the decision to make that the boss. But I think it was because they were overly focused on keeping it Plan Arcadia relevant, and like because there are plenty of older bosses that they could have gone back and done. Though please, please, please don't make me fight an anomaly arbitration version of Aventurine, because I don't want to do that. I
Oh
have
no,
trauma.
no, we'll just have we'll just have the Hule week, or the Hule cycle.
No, no more Hule. No
We'll
more
ha-
Hule.
we'll have Fei Zhao as the final boss, and then 3 different variants of Hule as the three pawns.
And it'll be follow up shill
Be follow
match.
Yeah, it'll be follow up shill for one or two of the Hule nodes, and it'll be fine on shill for the solo one, the 1v1 one.
Anyway, yeah, so there's not much else going on in there. There's not really much else left for this patch, to be totally honest. For Star Rail, it's all basically over already. But it was always going to be a short patch because they really focused on the anniversary. In terms of the anniversary, there's an absolute bucket of rumors going around. But the thing with these particular rumors that have been coming out lately is that, like, if I was going to make a series of educated guesses at what the content would be, like, it would just match the rumors. Like, they aren't they aren't saying anything that would lead a person to believe that they have an inside line. They're just saying things that are logical, but then again, Hoyo might just do things that are logical. But
Maybe.
Yeah, so it's the previews say, and this is basically an exercise in collecting data on which of the leakers will prove to actually be talking out of something other than the Ace Ventura talking
Asked.
out the backside thing.
Yep.
Um, so they're saying that there's going to be various shop discounts. There's going to be a web event, like, of course. There's going to be the art book giveaway, which there always is, except that basically if you're not in China, you aren't eligible. There's going to be another sign-in bonus. Well, there's always another sign-in bonus. There's going to be a big event. It's probably going to be like the all of the leaks suggest that it's going to be sort of like it's going to be another idle game type one like previous one, but it's going to be sort of like streamer themed, which also sort of fits with Plan Arcadia. There's going to be some kind of YouTube tie-in thing as well.
Uh,
Yeah, supposedly there's sort of like a live tune and participation thing that they're planning to do, but it's going to be designed so that it's in sort of like 4 roughly equidistantly spaced time zones that it's going to repeat, so that wherever you are, there's going to be one that you can probably tune into at some point if you're a chronically online person. And there's also going to be another free 5-star, but no data on that. And plus, also the additional information, like more, the leakers are still standing by Woho and Robin being added to the store for the Golden Companion spirits, and Yunli, Argenti, and Silverwolf going into the 50-50 pool. So, yeah, I guess that means that they're putting counterattack meta on the back burner for a while. because Yunli never actually turned into a meta.
Well, it
Though there
did.
are a lot of people who use her very, very successfully in a variety of different metas as a hyper carry, but it's not really a meta built around her.
It in the speed focused everything counterattack is kind of hard
Yeah,
to put something together with.
I keep putting the same feedback every single patch, and I'm going to continue to do so, which is that they need to be thinking very seriously about permanently unshackling themselves from action value being the only stat of note. Because realistically it is at this point. Everything else is just a way of decorating your action value.
Or trying to
So
circumvent it with AHA. Like, it's become such a pervasive problem that the entire new path is all about trying to find a way around the problem.
yeah, but the thing is that they've built the path, like they've founded the path on top of the foundation of that problem, and so every character needs to subvert it. Like they have made that problem the center of the design. Hopefully, by the time they get to the end of 4.x, they will have learned the lesson that yeah, elation is a bad idea, but the reason it's a bad idea is because of the action value system being far too core to combat, and there being not enough designs that make it play out anything other than just racing the HP bar. So hopefully this is going to be a learning experience for them. Like I like the characters that are involved in the elation meta, and that's why I'm going to build at least one, probably two elation teams, depending on how well my pulls go. We'll see. But I would not go vertical in them, because if things continue going the way they're going, it will suffer post 4.x more than any other meta to date has. Like at least with like other sort of pseudo defunct metas that are in the waiting room to be resurrected, like follow up attack, like you can trigger follow up attacks by any kind of mechanic you choose. But Elation is built around AHA doing as AHA pleases, and AHA is bolted to the action value system. So it's sort of hard to say how they're going to develop that, but they need to develop it. They can't stay shackled to this forever, because otherwise they're just going to get stuck in an endless sequence of constantly having to design Nova flares for old characters and then test them and so on. They're just going to create a bunch of overhead for themselves, because now they've established this precedent. Well, Nova flares are the way we're going to keep old characters relevant to new designs. Well, if you keep outpacing them constantly, it's not going to work out for you, is it? If you look at the characters who have really not returned beyond the point of just bare usability, like Blade and Jingyu, they are the characters who are still victims of the action value system. Like Kafka performs extremely well because she's not she's not just an output character. She triggers something else that was wrestling with the action value system as well. So she stood up a lot better. Silver Wolf is basically a debuffer, so she will continue to affect the battle when she's not taking a turn. That means that she's not as much of a victim of the action value system. Blade and Jingli only do stuff on their own turns. So yeah. Well, I mean that's not strictly true. Blade follows up, but not sufficiently to get around the problem. But it's just something that they're going to have to take seriously, I think. But yeah, the most of that stuff is still in the speculative realm, and honestly, there's not really a great deal of evidence being provided for most of these things. I mean, there never is early on, but like I said, a lot of this stuff bears a very close resemblance to bare speculation, so it's not really that important to give them much credence at this point, since anybody could predict these. The one that I'm surprised people have gone all in on, like several leakers have gone all in on, is part 2 of the Fate collab. I mean, it's plausible because there's a strong relationship between the two companies and between Hoyo and Type Moon, and they never took those banners away for the original characters. Like anybody who wants to just get their wallet out and E6 their saber tomorrow can just do it. They are
Mhm.
still up, right? I'm pretty sure they still are.
Yeah.
But that shows that door is still well open. So um the present rumor is that Gilgamesh and Rin will become playable as of 4.3. So yeah, not really sure how that's going to all fit together. Don't know if this was always intended or whether they felt like they did a really poor showing in the first one, so they're just going to do the second one to try and make it a bit better, or whether it's just going to be collab characters and they aren't going to bother write a story this time because those two characters are real popular. So
That's
yeah,
easy money.
yeah. Um, I've written a bunch of information on the mobile game channel for anybody who's interested about the various changes to the upcoming kits for the new Elation characters coming out in the anniversary patch 4.2. There have been some pretty substantial overhauls, but the overall gist of it was that they moved Silverwolf away from being attack scaling towards being crit scaling, and they moved Evanescia out of sort of like scaling no man's land where she was better played off meta as a crit damager using sufficiently powerful hypercarry supports than she was during Elation, because her Elation mechanics were so weak, where they've sort of reset all of her coefficients to make her Elation focused again, which is the way she was originally supposed to be based on the concept. But yeah, those are the major changes. They've also overhauled Elation Trailblazer to be a better friend to the major Elation characters, because before her design was pretty much the same as Remembrance Trailblazer except without a pet. Like she was just a crit damage buffer and that was it. But now there's a little bit more character to it, and it ties in a bit better with the Elation mechanic into the other characters that use it, rather than where previously it was not didn't really seem to mesh very well. But yeah. Anyway, other ones haven't received much change. Huawei still doesn't have the emergency heal that everybody wanted her to have. Not really sure
It's fine. She
why they've
increases your
been so
team
subtle,
speed
but
by 100%.
you keep telling yourself that, man. But yeah, they've used a bit of a light touch on Huo, which I think, like, if they had just given her like heals on her ult or something, like a substantial heal on her ult, so that you could hold it for a heartbeat if you needed to, because you knew you were going to take a big hit or something. That would have soothed a lot of people's concerns about it, but they've decided not to go that route. I mean, that's their call. Sele doesn't seem like her rebuild is going to make much of a benefit to her. It's going to make her stronger for sure, but I think she's just going to immediately fall behind again, because like they could have redesigned her to be a proper follow-up character, but it seems like they're actively avoiding doing that, which is kind of strange. So she's just like still generic 1.0 hypercarry.
Well,
Um,
they could have
well,
gone that route, but they've got a billion husbandos to sell.
apparently, yeah, the Husbando team looks like it's going to be a follow-up themed one, but
Which rustles my jimmies something major.
Welt's updates are surprisingly striking a middle ground. Like people's ability to actually use him is going to determine whether or not he's any good. Like I can sort of see how the changes are going to make him more powerful and more relevant. I mean, he's still not going to be god tier, otherwise they wouldn't be able to make the modifications to a 1.0 standard, because it would upset their ability to earn money. But it looks like he's going to be usable for people who want to use the old man. He's a very popular Honkai character, so it's going to make a lot of people happy. But anyway,
Getting bullied
so
by these
yeah,
cuddle waddles.
4.3 is most of the rumors are saying Blade Nihility Blade is going to come out. But the rumors are very at odds on what he actually does. Rumors for 4.4 is Himiko SP. Rumors for her don't include what path she is, but they mention that they tend to hold that she's going to strongly favor teams involving other Trailblazers from the Astral Express. Although there's also a rumor saying that when Robin SP eventually comes out, which is thought to be in 4.5, that she will displace Sunday from that team. And Aventurine Elation, like, again, massively disagreeing on what, all agreeing that he's Elation, massively disagreeing on what he does. So yeah, it's not really very clear. I've seen one leaker say that, oh, he's kind of like Evernight for Elation, and that his elation skill will get more powerful based on actions taken by other characters. Let's say, for instance, he will stack buffs from follow-ups performed by other characters or something. Like, all this stuff is plausible, but it's a little bit too plausible. Like, that doesn't give you credibility until we see that it pans out, because anybody could make a guess like that. But yeah. Anyway, that's where that's sitting at present. Nothing is very concrete in that realm. But yeah, so anniversary will be coming up both for Wua and for Star Rail in the near future. ZZZ, unless you want to cover anything about the side quests from Star Rail?
Just that they were incredibly depressing.
They do be that way.
The the peppy one in particular, with finding out the girl died after a happiness surgery and her puppy waited on her and died.
Yeah, so everybody just dies in the end and is unhappy. Like, you can't cheat, man.
Everybody was
You can't
mean to the
cheat.
puppy the whole time, and you get to go puppy POV. Like it's just horribly depressing.
I feel like it's the right fit for the story, though, because the story is, it's everything is pretty much sunshine and roses, but the dark corners are very dark. But yeah. Okay, moving on then. ZZZ. There's a combat event this week that I haven't done.
Yeah, it's just a quick little do the thing. You can set it to double score multipliers, and it's pretty easy to get it without trying. It's just free polychromes basically so far.
I'm good with free polychromes. I need more
It,
polychromes.
it does introduce an interesting new team gimmick where you take 3 teams of 2, and they give you trial characters to make sure you have enough dudes to do it. But if you want to, you can use your own instead. And yeah, it's interesting. They're experimenting with something here. I don't know if they think they've got some part of this formula they may work into, like the Hollow Zero later or something, but it's novel. They could build off of this, I think, and it uses the core game. So okay, if you want to experiment with it with a little combat event, I'm okay with that. See how it goes. Take the parts that work
I
and
want,
expand.
I want the combat one, like the co-op one back though. I
Yeah,
I want. I know that, like, there's a large outspoken. Those two things might be mutually exclusive. There's an outspoken portion of the fan base who is super, 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 super anti the boss mechanic type approach that was used in the co-op event. They
yeah,
think it's the worst thing ever and would be the worst thing for the future of the game if they did that ever again. Which I deeply resent, and I hope there's not too many of those people, because I like the co-op event and I want it back again.
yeah. Well, I
I
would
mean,
rather.
I know it's not. I know they're not action game boss mechanics, but co-op is a different beast, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I would rather they take their time and genuinely cook it and make sure it's good before it comes out.
If I
So,
had faith that they were actually cooking it, then I would be totally okay with it. But I would like a roadmap. So long as they don't spend more time doing more Bang Boo chess, I'll be fine. I'll be
I
fine.
mean, if we have to get 3 Bamboo chesses to get them to keep plugging away to make the combat the co-op good, I'll take it. Uh,
Anyway,
yeah, it's the week before Miss Hiss comes out, so that's the point. That's the middle patch. So not a whole lot going on.
yeah, Aristill's gaze is fixed on his new favorite character.
I love Miss
but
Hiss.
but yeah, the there's you did the hot pot one, but you don't remember anything about it.
I mean, Miss Hiss got heat stroke.
This is true. I'm deeply, deeply concerned that they have written off giving Nangong an actual story.
Uh, yeah. The saving grace is if she doesn't get anything now, at least they don't abandon characters in CZZ as much as they do the other Hoyo games. So there's even if she doesn't get one now, there is a chance it'll come back up later.
Oh, and how much do we know about Rena?
Her legs are so sexy that she has to wear a long dress. This impedes her from driving, however, so she has to take a horse-drawn carriage everywhere and has a horse-drawn carriage license. However, sometimes that's not feasible, so she just has Lycon come and drive her instead. Those were a bunch of facts about Rena you probably didn't know.
Where is that? Where, like, you were telling me about this before the show, but I'm like, where is this lore?
Apparently buried in her character bio page.
I haven't read her character bio page.
Or yeah, there's I was flicking through stuff on the wiki about it.
She is apparently still the reigning champion in the measurements department.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, not much happening there, but I'm fine with it. There's still like a bunch of stuff that I haven't done in ZZZ that I could go catch up on. I haven't done any of the hard modes. There's still a nest egg of polychromes there when I need to dig into it, although it's quite time consuming to do. But it seems like nobody does that because they like glut up all of the outpost boards with people trying to get somebody else to do it for them.
Let's see.
If I join enough outposts, maybe I'll be able to do the entire lot through the lens of through the lens of somebody else's game. But unfortunately, that won't unlock any polychromes for me. Anyway, that's about it for ZZZ, I think. I haven't done the other side quests that came with the latest patch, so they're all sitting there waiting for me. And the freaking prophecy is still on my quest log too.
All right, that
I-
exists.
It does.
I have purged that and the rest of Bang Boo TV from my brain.
There's still like this hardcore of people who are agitating for it back.
Yeah, but
Like, they see
I
that as
don't-
the golden era.
they act like they're genuine. I don't believe them.
I've heard that there are a lot of them who, when asked, don't know about Arpeggio Fault.
Yeah, like
So they are just like posers, basically. Because if you genuinely like Bang Boo TV, you should think that Arpeggio Fault is the best thing ever.
yeah, I saw a slew of YouTube videos when the 1.4 was coming around for ZZZ that were just people complaining Bang Boo TV was being replaced, and people that join the game now or pick the game back up won't have to do Bang Boo TV anymore because it's so bad and everybody hates it, and just trying to act as genuine as possible. And no matter how convincing they made their voice sound, I did not believe a word of these motherfuckers. Like, you don't want Bang Boo. Nobody wants Bang Boo TV. You have to be genuinely insane to want that back. Like, oh, it offered a unique vector for storytelling. Like, you're telling me the cutscenes we get now and the little mission structure we have is worse than a few icons on TV screens bumping against each other? You're crazy. You're drunk.
I mean,
Go home.
it was quaint and it was novel. but it did also feel like a cheap indie game.
Like if we still had that, we would not have the proxy in the hollow, and we would not have Miss Hiss having her stand up moment against Promethea protecting Belle.
You know, there's a if they were like a tiny company with no money, then maybe that would be acceptable, but it's not. There's a huge amount of money has been put into ZCC, so they need to put a huge amount of content out. Anyway, we were nothing really new this week per se, except for the catching food falling from the sky event.
The audio
Which is,
server event, I think, is still ongoing. If you
I
haven't
mean,
done it yet.
it's a permanent.
Oh,
It's
is
a
it?
permanent.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's like a permanent with limited time awards, like the approach that was pioneered by, I think it was pioneered by Star Rail, where they just make a lot of the major mechanical events permanent, but when they are fresh, there's additional rewards to be earned. But and the audio surf event is like that. I still haven't done all of the rewards. I've done all the limited time ones, which was my priority, but I can go back and clean up the other ones later. I still haven't done that for the first anniversary because I don't really understand how the combat works in that event. But and it seems to want farming, like a lot.
Yeah, you gotta
But
farm a lot, level up your cubes, and then basically just use the cubes. You don't really play the team. You mostly just have Jinshi Cube do all the work while
I've
Rochia and
also
the other
seen
one do it.
I've also seen guides say the exact opposite.
Oh
That
yeah,
you should be focusing on using the buffs for your characters, and then the cubes are just a bonus.
yeah. I mean, I could probably do it that way because I know how to play the Zoni Phoebe team. But
But that's about the only team that people say amongst the ones that they provide that can actually do it. So
yeah, because
I don't
Cartwheel
know.
and Shiakona weren't out yet. The cubes are there, I think, but or Cartwheels is, but I don't think the characters are there yet. So it's Zoni Phoebe or bust. And uh, the Zoni Phoebe team is a good team. It's fun to play, but it's you got to know how to do it.
And didn't you get schooled against the reactor this morning
Yeah,
trying to use it?
that made me a little mad because I countered the reactor husk, but his swings are perfectly timed to catch Zani in the in lag of the counter hit. So while you're invulnerable for the hits you take and invulnerable during the attack animation, you're not invulnerable at the end. But normally enemies are hit and either staggered or their next attack is not coming at the perfect time to smack her in the face. And you get smacked once, you know you're getting comboed. And that team doesn't have the big turtle echo on it, so when Zani got smacked, Zani got dead.
Anyway, so that's that thing. The I think it is it next week that the next part of the story will come out.
I
The
think,
interlude
yeah,
for the
I think so. I think the interlude chapter comes out next week with the Linnae rerun and the Peeb Zani banner.
yeah, lots and lots of people are champing at the bit for the Linnae rerun.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people talking about how badly they wish that they could get her. Presumably they blew all of their savings immediately for her last run, or they didn't
Or
realize that she would be as good or as likable a character as she turned out to be.
yeah, I wanted her. I
Like,
just wanted Cartwheel more.
yeah, I think a lot of people went in for what they expected to be possibly the last chance for a while to get Cardathea, but and she's an expensive one, I guess, since you pretty much have to get her weapon as well, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Because it's the only one that has HP scaling. Yeah, the
Yeah,
weapon on
and
her is not an option. There's a reason when her and Chiakona's banner was coming around, I went on the mega farming polychrome Hoover spree.
hmm Anyway, so the next patch, I think the next patch is an anniversary patch, but I'm not 100% clear on the timings for where we're, since I wasn't playing during the last anniversary. But social media is alive with leaks about Hiyuki and Danya, so who I intend to pull both of them because one of them is a Shrine Maiden character. So of course I've got to pull for her. The way I
Is it a
already would
pink
pull.
head Shrine Maiden?
No, I've already got a pink woman, and I'm gonna pull the other pink woman, which is Danya as well. So
Right.
I just kind of, I don't even know why, but I kind of like Danya as a character. I don't don't know why. She's not a good person, but I just kind of like her. Like it's just like absolutely bone lazy. But I think that she's probably a nicer person than she lets on. It seems like she's sort of like trying to actively push Sagrika away for her own good, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm interested to see what her story is like. But their kits, or at least very preliminary versions of their kits, have been leaked and are up now. But they're they are Woowa kits, so they're even harder to understand than Hoyo kits. And each of the two have like 4 different unique resources to stack in various ways in turn that trade off between each other. So just understanding the kit by reading it is virtually impossible. Um, the rough gist, though, is that Hiyuki is a Glacio Chafe stacking character who generates resources by stacking Glacio Chafe, and when it hits certain thresholds will introduce other effects, and she also shifts between a couple of different forms which will change her combos and the effects of her combos, etc. Um, and she's basically, the Miyabi type character, in that it's all about, striking a dramatic samurai pose and then Judgment Nut, except that it's a little bit different in her case, and she's like a more direct reference to the Yuki Onna theme. So it's more about creating lots of ice than Judgment Nut. But yeah, it's more or less in line with most people's expectations, in that she's basically the person who has to rescue Glacio, because Glacio is basically being operated by a very, very tired Carlotta for the past 12 months with no help from anybody else. So
It's a lot of work for such a short girl.
why everybody got a bag on her height? It's just like super obvious at the end of Septimont. Like really painfully obvious.
I mean, yeah,
Especially because they always put her with Cantarella.
yeah. It's also incredibly obvious during the what you call it, the anniversary Phoebe song event, or the Phoebe song video. Just I can't get over the mental image of her having to reach up to hand Calcharo the maracas.
Well, to be fair, practically anyone would, but
And
this
for
is like
her,
the
it's
tallest character in the game.
But for her, it's so exaggerated because she's so tiny. He's so
Yeah,
big.
everybody calls her Small Lotta Montini. But yeah, she's going to be able to finally get some rest, as there'll be another Glacio character on the docket who can carry teams for a while. But yeah, and Danya's going to be in the next half. But Danya's kit is pretty much what people expected, as far as needing a second person in the roster between Chisa and Ameth to make Fusion Burst work. And so she's another dual form character that has basically, she acquires her resources by applying Fusion Burst, and she seems also to be able to acquire resources while off field by other characters popping Fusion Bursts. So yeah, she's the Fusion Burst character. But what people didn't expect is that, much like Ameth, she also has an off tune mode. But because off tune tooltips are so Byzantine, I can't tell which character it's designed for, or if even that character might not be in the game yet. So yeah, might just have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, so they're both liberation damage themed, but that doesn't mean that their damage is necessarily all built around their liberation skill, so much as they have various other types of damage that count as liberation damage. Like I think Hiyuki's heavy attacks count as liberation attacks as well. But yeah, so that's basically going to open up more opportunities for Lene to moonlight in other teams if she's also going to be able to service off tune for Ameth at the same time. But since there's like two major forms of off tune, it's not really clear which one is going to be best served by Danya's take on off tune. So that's basically those two, and that's what the leaks are focused around right now. There haven't been really any more generalized anniversary leaks for Woowa. There's a lot of speculation about who's coming out in what patch and when. Based on the new Sonata sets that they've introduced to the game, Lucilla is definitely in the patch following because, well, she's the film teacher and it's a film themed Sonata set. So that makes sense. And that's what they did with Danya as well. Danya's set came out alongside Ameth. So yeah. That's about it from that quarter, I think. I'm not really expecting much to change. We're on a sort of not so much a dry period as a just a quiet period for most of the gachas. The only one that's truly dry is Genshin because they had an entire patch of nothing. But like
Yeah.
for Star Rail, for instance, there's still a million little platforming sections that I've got to go and clean up because I half-assed my way through the story ones or whatever. But yeah, that's about it for gachas. I believe that Blue Archive's main story is up to like the third part of a new chapter. So I'll probably try and get caught up on that at some time in the near future. See how the story is going there. People have been saying it's quite a good story, but that it might as well have just been successive chapters to Eden Treaty, rather than having its whole own new chapter to itself. So we'll see how that goes sometime near future. If I survive my work schedule, which is what I'm more mainly concerned about, because that seems to be intent on attempting to kill me.
I did not know that Lumi's little booties have pop out
Booty.
claws.
They what?
The little indentation.
He's talking about her booty.
Her booties. Her feet shoes.
Feet shoes.
As opposed to all the other types of shoes for other parts of your body.
Well,
Yeah,
when you look at her, she is wearing a onesie.
yeah, like it's
I'm pretty sure she's asymmetrical, so it can't be a onesie.
Yeah, okay, it's a twosie.
But she has little indentations on her boots, and one of her idle animations has her pop little claws out of them.
I
Oh yeah,
see.
I see him.
They never bothered with any kind of explanation for animal people, did they?
Nope.
No, well, Lumi's
Or
not.
elves,
Yeah,
or anything like that.
Lumi's stuff looks all artificial. Like she's a human
I'm
person.
not willing to put money on that.
Like that probably is not a natural tail. Those are definitely not natural ears. That's her hair. I mean, the thing inside of her hood is a mouse, but
I mean, I've just been sort of assuming that these are all sort of like weird effects of having a resonance with a particular animal or something. So when they awaken, they basically partly turn into animal. Except for Ling Yang, who I guess is the opposite.
the animal that resonated with humans.
Yeah.
Lumi, who resonated with the light bulb.
Is that actually it?
I don't know. It's what I kind of assume based on what she do.
Yeah. This is her resonance spectrum pattern is based on characteristics of light, not mice. There's no mention of her being mouse-like at all in any case in her profile, so I'm going to assume that everything is 100% artificial.
Yeah,
except her pet, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe her pet's not.
Her pet seems real. Pull the pet out. Make it stuff. I don't know why it can fly.
Magic.
It's really weird playing
Like
Lumi
it shoot
because
lasers.
You have to sit here and just kind of run around and let it shoot for a bit to charge up your meter so you can do the enhanced auto attack. So it looks really weird, like you're doing nothing because Lumi doesn't do anything while you're shooting with the hamster.
Pew pew mouse.
And once the mouse juices it, you can pull out. Oh, that's I didn't notice that with their heavy attack when she throws the sword out, the hamster carries it.
It does too.
It's adorable, and she gives it a high five.
He gives a high five.
You didn't notice because nobody plays Lumi.
Nobody plays Lumi, is why.
Yeah. Put Lumi in shooty mode by pressing her skill once, and then just tap the run button, and you'll see what I mean by this is really janky.
You can get stuck in auto run mode while just touching the paw print thingies around the place as well.
Yeah, it operates exactly like that, except your stamina drains, and you it happens every time you press the dodge button in shooty mode.
So the next set of banners after the Lene Phoebe Zani one are going to be Hiyuki Mornier Yuno on the first side and Danya Chisa Frilova on the second side, which is very Jimmy's Wrestling to me, since there are a lot of characters that I like, but they're all at the same time, just to make me as upset as possible. So Yuno is going to get put off again. Poor girl. Because I'm definitely going to be pulling for Hiyuki, and I'm definitely going to be pulling for Danya as well, which means that Frilova and Cheese are also going to get put off. Frilova still is holding like the championship spot as far as Whimpering Waste is concerned, I'm fairly sure. So
Yeah. She's also holding like the champion spot for reruns per minute, although Chisa's giving her a run for her money, I think. This is her second rerun already?
well, people just really like her. Her quest was just so good. Like very, very rarely does one of these games present a villain protagonist chapter which is not like really corny redemption story. Like, she is the leading lady for that story, but she's just as evil at the end as she was at the start.
Mm-hmm.
But you still sympathize with her to some extent, at least, and you can have a lively discussion over whether to sympathize with her and how much, and to what extent Rover is guilty of what she accuses him of, etc. Like, there's a lot to think about with her character. It's just a very rich story. So I'm not really surprised that people latched onto her as a character, as well as her being an absolute AoE monster. But the thing with Chisa being in the back half means that the option for me to take the strategy I suggested to you for Peeb has suddenly opened up.
Yeah. Depending on how Linnea's pulls go, I might consider Yuno, not for any team I'm building. I have no plans for her, but just because she's fun to play.
She is fun to play, and the main reason that I'm sort of tempted to pull her, other than the fact she's fun to play, though, is that I keep putting all of my eggs in the same baskets as far as elements are concerned, because I don't pull based on mechanics ever. I always pull based on waifu, and it's starting to bite me in the backside.
Now, I will usually pick one element of the team purely for waifu, and then the rest of the team will get built around to support the waifu. I'll pull whoever needs pulling to support it.
But like, because Hiyuki and Carlotta are both going to end up getting pulled for waifu, and they are sort of mutually exclusive. Like, there's no reason to put them in the same team. Although there's a non-trivial argument that I can concoct in my mind for putting Hiyuki and Carlotta on the same team, because I believe that there's a way to outro with Hiyuki based on her current kit that will buff Glacio for the incoming.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like it's probably designed to be like one of those weird outro buffs, like the fact that Amith is always going to be last in the rotation, but she gives an attack buff.
Yeah.
But
Thinking of
yeah,
thinking about though, you already have Lene and Mornier, and that makes a very serviceable main DPS wheelchair team. Where it would just be an accessible team at that point, and the new in-game game mode lets you use support twice, so it would
I
take
mean,
your.
I understand all of that, but I have to have some money to buy food with.
I mean, just depending on how your pulls go for Hiyuki, you could consider it.
If I was one of those get her on the first 10 pull people, then that option would open up, but that's never happened. So yeah, because if I was not pulling anybody in the second half, then that would become a real live option. But I consider Danya to be a non-negotiable. I need second pink woman to go with first pink woman, so I can just harvest all of that coral and dump it on Chisa wave bands.
Yep, I intend to dump every bit of coral I ever get from here on into best peeb.
I mean, it doesn't really make sense for me to do it for Chisa because, like, no, I just keep stacking more and more damage on my healer. That's what the wave bands do. They just give her more and more damage.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have the parts to build a peep. Well, I'll have it with Lene. I can build one of the variants of it, one of the better ones. But I mean, it's you gotta make sure your waifu's your most invested character.
My waifu is the most invested character.
You gotta go even more.
I think you just want to be able to tell yourself you're not the only one who did something that retarded.
I mean, you got 3-way bands on Chisa too. Yep.
The fourth wave band is so bad, though. That's the main reason I haven't dumped any more into it, is because her fourth wave band is just like staggeringly bad, like possibly the worst wave band in the game,
But
counting Kelchara's ones.
but after you get it with the coral, there'll be 2 more amazing wave bands after it that you're like,
But they're not really amazing. The
but
fifth one just doubles the damage of her ultimate,
but
which I guess her ultimate does it pretty hard as it is.
but think about the damage done by all Chisa's debuff.
There is also the All Chisa debuff, where she debuffs enemies to take 40% more damage from Chisa.
When when I eventually decide to min-max the cartwheel team even harder and pull Chisa like 2 more reruns from now, just think of the damage we can do.
It probably only applies to the applying Chisa, because it has probably never been tested. I don't think you can actually in co-op put 2 characters that are the same on the same team.
Not
I could
in
be wrong, though.
instance content, but where's my billing?
But I've never thought about it. No, yeah, we can do that. But yeah, I think that it probably doesn't work like that. But anyway, yeah. More wave bands will certainly make her do a lot of damage, but that's like 3 potential characters sort of thing. Well, only if you use resources, I guess. If it is Coral, it works out to be a lot fewer characters, doesn't it? But you can only get like 2, right? Anyway,
Per banner.
per banner, yeah.
I think it's per banner. I hope so because I've already bought both of the ones you can get with Coral for Peeb.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling when Chisa came back, they were back again, but I'm not sure.
I
I
think.
guess we're gonna find out soon.
Yeah, I'll tell you when the banner rolls over on Tuesday.
Because currently I have 366 coral. Just sitting there, waiting.
Don't know if Booling can kill herself with her lightning. I'm trying to find out. I don't think so.
No, you get down to 1 hit point and it doesn't do any more damage. But yeah. Yep. Anyway. Moving on. Did anybody check the email? Because I didn't check the email.
Yeah, we have an email.
We have an email. Where am I gonna? I can't find it. Here we go. No, I want it on the other screen. That one's too far away. No. Don't put it there. Don't put it there. I don't like the looks of what I'm seeing here, actually.
I didn't read the email. I just pasted it.
I can only see like a couple of words stick out and I'm already upset.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so the email reads thusly. Dear No Excuses. Hungary was the world first in a few things. Like the first underground on the continent, second after London, or one of the first to have paratroopers. The less proud achievements include the number of alcohol-related deaths, par the course for this region. This actually has been improving. With all the old people dying from alcoholism, the youngsters in those rural villages instead kill themselves with cheap designer drugs. And we all remember that porn star per capita map. The main reason I bring this up is because you talked about the Zimbabwe hyperinflation. And while Zimbabwe has the record on most zeros printed on a bill, 14, the Hungarian, I don't know how you pronounce that, I'm just going to pronounce it the way we pronounce it in English, Pengo, has the largest bill ever issued. 100 quintillion. That's 20 zeros. Yay us? Also, you mentioned Raptor Call of the Shadows. Why is that game called that? Not because the plane you fly in F-22 that didn't exist at the time, but because the devs just saw Jurassic Park and they thought it was cool. And finally, my notes say Trailer Park Elves. I'm no longer sure why, but probably because you once more brought up the Foyd romance novels. The YouTuber formerly known as Arch Warhammer, now known as Arch, actually had a few episodes dedicated to talk about Morning Glory Milking Farm versus Trailer Park Elves. The Foyd romance versus the male romance. He even had the writer of Trailer Park on. Yeah, not much happened in the gacha space. 4.1 was alright. The plot thickens, but still square dab in the exposition phase. Genshin is nada, and ZZZ finally got around to finishing that story, and what can I say? It's very much the finale with things setting up for 3.0. Got all the angels without their weapons. I'll be passing on everything until 3.0, and stop teasing me with cheerleaders. Serathis.
You know,
Well, if nothing else, Mornier's outfit that's debuting in the coming patch is not a cheerleader outfit. That one is like a winter wear outfit. It's not a very nice outfit either. I think that their outfit designer for their recent outfits is a little bit too focused on outfits that could exist in real life, as opposed to outfits that are anime cool, which is what we actually want.
yeah. You know, if they ever get desperate for money, there is the cheerleader and swimsuit option.
There is, in fact, that option.
And
Carlotta already has a swimsuit.
like, I would take that option over what we got so far. Zani's outfit, I don't like it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that it's the sort of outfit that you could see in real life, and I
Yeah,
think that they're a bit too focused on that. Like,
yeah,
it's a very like real world urban fashion sort of outfit,
yeah,
as opposed to some of these sort of other ones that they've had in the past, which are sort of like more like Chinese themed or whatever, or a swimsuit in the case of Carlotta, and sort of like vaguely bridal looking in the case of Cheng Li, and of course there's the budget one for Sunhua that's just kind of well, I mean, it's a variant. It's a white look for her if you want a white look rather than a black one,
yeah.
and a crazy eyed mask on her head if that's what you're into for some reason. Anyway, yeah, they are planning to put more outfits in the game. There was a rumor floating around that in the 3.5 patch, there's going to be a maid outfit for Chisa, but that could just be somebody's fond wish rather than an actual leak.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going back to the AI Laura website to try and dig up different Wuthering Waves or Phoebe Lauras to try and generate a better Phoebe cheerleader because holy crap, that website has gone full gooner, and there does not appear to be a replacement for it.
The less I know about it, the better. But yeah, I did not get all the angels. I did not try to get all the angels. I didn't have the polychrome for that anyway. I did get Sinner, who has been a great boon because she works very well with a variety of teams and extremely well with Ye Guang, who now at least rotates smoothly. I'm still not that fussed about her gameplay. I don't think it's that engaging, but she's a very serviceable workhorse now when combined with Sinner, which she really wasn't before because I didn't have a suitable spare. But having both her and Zhao on the same team generates a lot of gas for her ultimate. So that's worked out well. But I don't have a weapon for her. But she's got Kaboom the Cannon. Kaboom the Cannon's always a good A ranker. Like it's a very solid. My support needs a W engine and I don't know what to use. Just stick good old Kaboom the Cannon on there and you'll be right.
It's always
In
Kaboom
most
the
cases.
Cannon or pass around arenas.
But I did not get Aria. Like I use Aria sometimes in the Hollow Zero if she's available for trial, simply because she works really well with some of the characters that I've got, but I'm just not that fussed about her gameplay. It just feels weird to me. Like I'm not that interested. But the Angel team itself is very powerful and very shielded. So if they continue that particular shield route without ever coughing up another ether anomaly that works with the characters that I've got, well, then it might end up being an option out of necessity. It's like, well, I might as well complete the Angel team because I do have Nangong and I do have her signature. And she feels weird at M0 because you have to start from such a cold start, and she's a character that would benefit immensely from starting with more of her resource.
Yeah,
which is what her Mindscape does, but I'm just not. I don't think I'm down for getting the Mindscapes on ZZZ characters. Mindscapes seem like a crutch rather than a vertical investment. That's just the way it feels. I don't really know why.
I think the game in general just seems to benefit more from going wide and having more options.
Well, considering the number of game modes where you need like a gajillion teams, you kind of are obliged to go wide.
Yeah, like the big one is that long game mode. That's the one where you need the most teams. But just having options for Deadly Assault and Shiyu just seems like a better idea than having one really cracked Miyabi that can always be used.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like there's a different logic when it's not an exploration game. Like, I want Chisa to be able to do everything because I like playing Chisa. I want her on field as my go-to for all kinds of purposes. So anything I can do vertically to make her more and more of a juggernaut is just better in my book. Like this straight up win. Whereas like I really like Nangong. I like playing her. I really like Jufufu. I like playing her. All these characters are stun characters that I love to play. Like I love playing Trigger, also a freaking stun character. I don't know why all the characters I want to play on field are stun characters. It's a huge nuisance.
I mean,
The
there is
only
one.
exception being Alice.
There,
So
there is one high field time stun character that you could get that is not an icky boy. You could get your girl Kingy.
I mean, I do like Xingyi as a character.
I don't.
She needs help.
I don't think she's had a rerun in forever. I mean, she does increase the damage multiplier.
It's true. So do all the other ones I've currently got, though. But yeah, I like playing Nangong, but it would not behoove me to try and make her stronger in terms of damage output, so I could just have her on field more of the time. I mean, that just doesn't have any benefit in sort of like a arena-based combat thing where you have a bunch of things will appear on the field. Like, there's no disadvantage to switching characters off. You're not going to end up with a balked rotation that doesn't work or anything that would end up sort of like baiting you towards just picking a character who can adapt to every situation or whatever. Like, that's not really a thing. But so it really doesn't matter how much I like playing Nangong. I'm only going to play her when the rotation says I can. So going deep on her is probably not really a good investment yet. Like, if co-op was like a really prominent mode that you could spend a lot of time doing things in, then that might change.
Oh, just
Like,
think of all the buffs you can give my Jane if you got her Mindscapes.
I really enjoyed like getting to really play Lucia a lot in multiplayer
Yeah.
because you don't. She does have lots of damage skills that you just never use because you don't have the opportunity.
About the only time you really get to use those in real gameplay is on the Yadari team, because you usually will uh, have Yadari just kind of spinning, and Fufu's already dumped her juice. So what do you got left? Oh, Lucia's here. Uh, well, I guess I'll push all these buttons I don't normally push.
But yeah, like she's got mechanics which are about like spending the bar that you normally want to last as long as possible if you're playing Shifu or someone. You want Lucia's bar to stay full. You don't want it to be empty. She has a whole pile of abilities that empty her bar. But all of those abilities, I mean, they exist to do damage. You just don't want to use them normally. But in a co-op situation, well, you can build up your bar and then you can spend your abilities, spend it on abilities, and then go straight back to building up your bar again, rather than it being a thing that, oh, it fell off at the last second and now I'm in trouble. Because somebody is actively playing, you can make up for a little bit of damage loss at times. So yeah, it's fun to get to play characters like that you don't normally get to use the same way. I mean, realistically, everybody in that event kept picking Miyabi. Like, it was Miyabi all day, every day. But I can't really fault them for that. Miyabi's a fun character to play, but it's the getting to play characters that you don't normally get field time with is the thing I enjoy. Like being able to like actively use Fufu's spinning top thing on purpose would be funny.
That would be funny.
But yeah, like I said, I like playing Nangong. I like her sort of charge mechanic. Although you don't have any reason to ever use it in real combat, like the actual perfect charge thing. Like what you want to happen is for it to be automatic. And I like her animations. I like her sort of the heavy combat feel she's got, which is suitable for a stunner. Like she's in the same way that Fufu's got a really heavy combat feel to her specials, and that is a similar principle. Like stunners should carry maces, like that's what stunners are for, generally speaking. And I kind of like that. But yeah, you just don't get to use it under normal circumstances. So game modes where you could might encourage me to go a bit more vertical. But going vertical on a character who is on field like 5 seconds per rotation doesn't feel great. It just doesn't. Like if I was gonna get Mindscapes, it would be on someone like Shifu, who I have on field a lot.
Yeah,
A lot, a lot.
if you got a heavy field time team, most teams are heavy field time teams, but you want your Janes or your Alices or your Shifu or your big Wobos or your Miyabis. Like those are the characters you want.
Not your Alice's. Alice has legendarily bad Mindscapes.
Are they just bad?
Yeah, they're just bad. They sound good on paper, but apparently everybody who's done the math in game has proven that they don't actually pay off. They're like really inferior to other Mindscapes. But yeah. In the case of Woowa, though, you tend to get a lot of mileage out of even the early Mindscapes. They just pay off big. And even Genshin has the odd one that really does, like Veresa,
Mm-hmm.
where it just seems to be disproportionately affect her ability both to explore and to fight.
Yeah, like it doesn't seem like it does very much when you read. Like it seems good, but not the thing that's making all the big funny number videos. Turn this lamppost is we're not standing on it.
No, it's intended to just to boogie a little bit. It's fine. Let it boogie. It'll stop when the sun comes up. Incidentally, I guess there's a whole quest around this town because it turns into Halloween Town at night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
there's
your
an event.
there's an event, and the character who should be your favorite character you should totally pull. By the way, uh, character story that happens in this town.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Well,
you can think of it as Halloween. You can think of it as Halloween.
It's pretty Halloween coded, yeah.
But yeah, it
Yeah.
is a local Halloween-esque event.
Anyway,
Right, news. What have we got news-wise?
not much. Nothing I really particularly want to talk about, unfortunately.
I had an inkling in the back of my brain since like 7 o'clock that there was something, and I'm just forgetting it. But I cannot remember what it is. So it's of no help to us now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people were talking this week about the price increases, but we talked about that last week for PlayStation. I guess RS Steel's government banning routers is also a thing.
I heard about that, but I'm not sure I understand it or even what parts of it are true.
It's kind of
It is
weird.
true. It is true. There's nothing impinges on your ability to use a router you already had, but basically the law as it currently is being implemented is that you can't use a router manufactured overseas, which is
Okay.
it doesn't even matter if an American company manufactured it. If the manufacturer was overseas, um, you can't use it.
So that would be all of them.
Basically, yeah. There are a few like real small scale router manufacturers in the US, but not nearly enough to maintain the sort of network infrastructure. Um, the I don't think they thought this through very clearly because it's not very good, not a very good move. Because what's going to happen, right? Because this is supposedly about cybersecurity, right? Because America is pushing the not totally unreasonable line that they don't want like necessary telecommunications infrastructure stuff manufactured by a potentially foreign potentially hostile power. Because I mean, okay, that makes sense. The problem is that that's what everybody's using, and if you ban the updated version of those and the current ones, that basically gives the hostile power the ability to stop plugging security holes in the current ones that everybody is actually already using. So you're just going to make your cybersecurity worse. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's you can if you can make a large enough donation to one of President Trump's super PACs, you can get on the list of permitted goods. So this is just like this is the standard form of corruption that the Trump administration has been engaged in since the beginning of the second term, has been basically setting up bans for things and then taking huge amounts of money to put people on protected lists. I
Create
know
the
Trump
problem,
supporters
solve the
don't
solution.
I know Trump supporters don't like to hear that, but it is what they've been doing in practical terms. It might not be what is outlined in the legislation, but it is what is happening on the ground. There's, $100 million donation to a super PAC, and all of a sudden, somebody appears on the protected list for reasons that haven't been bothered to be explored by anybody. Like, there's going to be a reason for that. It's probably related to the $100 million. Like companies like for instance, AMD, the total donations to the Republican Party from AMD up until the Trump presidency was about $10,000. Now it's in the hundreds of millions. And suddenly the president of AMD is on a whole bunch of presidential advisory boards. It's like that. It's nakedly corrupt. It's just a novel form of corporatism that wasn't being engaged in by the previous administration. That's all. But it is how the Americans do. You can buy anything in America, and political influence is just one of those things. So
Yeah.
yep, and it's silly, and it doesn't serve the American people in any way, banning all the routers from overseas when you haven't set up infrastructure to manufacture any on your side of the ocean. So just typical short-sighted legislation. I mean, that's laying aside all of the massive concerns about free speech that happens when the government actually, has approved the manufacture of each and every router that's in everybody's house, which is where they want to get to eventually. Well, that just means that they have a direct line into everybody's telecommunications, and whichever government takes over can regulate that however they want. They can cut anybody off from the internet that they want. Say something they don't like. Oh well, I guess you don't have the internet anymore. Tough. Now, everything about it is bad. Basically, there are no good parts. So, yeah, it's quite terrible. And it is there in black and white. This isn't like some leftist conspiracy theory or something. This is something that has been undertaken as a Ministry of War measure.
Yeah, I heard something about it, but whenever I hear stuff about, oh, look what your government's doing, 99 times out of 100, somebody is either lying or wrong when they're talking about the US government, especially if it's pointing out
Well,
something
if you
dumb that's under the
if you
current
go on
administration. Now, the
if you
current
go on
administration
Twitter,
does.
then that's probably the case. But there are people who actually do journalism.
I don't
Some
know
None of them
about
people.
work.
that.
None of them work for. No, there are heaps of people who do good journalism. You just don't ever see any of it if you look at anybody who calls himself a journalist. You need to avoid anybody who actually refers to themselves as such.
That's true.
But yeah, so I the gut reaction is to wait until it's settled a bit, and if the story is still going and popping up
Well,
occasionally,
the,
then
the thing is, it becomes very easy to write off because this is one of those pieces of legislation that doesn't look like it's actually intended to work. It looks like it's intended to get a whole bunch of donations from big companies.
yeah, like
After all, there's a big campaign season coming up.
yeah, I'm not saying the Trump administration doesn't do dumb crap all the time, but
They
they
do very little but dumb crap this past like 4 or 5 months.
but yeah, the gut reaction is still, oh boy, what's the media complaining about this time? Because if I stressed out
Yeah.
about every little or every single story, or even just the ones that seemed kind of plausible, or yeah, that's probably dumb, and put too much thunk into it, I would lose my mind because I live in the U.S. I get inundated with these
Literally
stories
no reason to think about
headlines
it.
and headlines nonstop. I'm explaining why I don't have any information on this particular one, despite living in the U.S. Because I just am hit with these kind of stories and headlines nonstop
Well,
living
stop
here.
talking to your dad about current events.
I haven't
Because I'm
talked to
sure
him.
he just imbibes everything that
Oh,
the talking box tells him.
he drinks the Fox News Kool-Aid so hard.
But basically, the trick to getting good news is to find somebody incredibly autistic. That's why you get your information from the farms, right?
Yes.
Because autists are only concerned about autism. They're not concerned about agendas.
Yeah.
And there are heaps and heaps of tech autists who are very upset about not being able to buy routers from other countries.
Yeah. So yeah, that sounds dumb. Although I don't put it past the Republicans in Congress at all right now, especially in the House. Like
Well,
that
it doesn't. It barely matters now. It's very, very clear that the neocon old guard is 100% in control now, and that there's nothing of MAGA is left. It's all gone. It's over. The dream is dead. Learn to live in the new reality.
mhm.
You are now Bibi Netanyahu's pets. Enjoy.
No, not gonna do that, even if true.
All right. Only other bit of news I saw quickly skim across the feed, but I didn't get to look into it. Is apparently Nintendo has had one of their US patents yanked.
Oh, the one on summoning, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of their patent attempts in the U.S. are the recent ones, especially. They've always been aggressive with dumb patents, and they usually don't hold up when challenged. But the recent ones have been particularly egregious. But given the current state of the judicial branch in the U.S., it's hard to. It's hard to say how intelligent the judges are a lot of the time. Some of the stuff that seems like should be incredibly obvious. We just had our Supreme Court justice say getting arrested in a country functionally makes you a citizen.
Right.
Um,
Diversity hires are bad, okay?
Okay. So yeah, that's honestly about it. That's all I've really seen. The game
Yeah,
industry is just, especially over the last 18 months or so, is going to be just holding its breath.
yeah. News wise, it's pretty much dead in the water. It's not even this week. It's not even that like, oh, there's nothing interesting to talk about. Is literally there is nothing to talk about. Like, nothing has happened this week.
yeah,
Hmm.
it did feel like the world kind of just was moving through molasses this week.
Really was. But that's usual around the Easter weekend because everyone has long weekends and short weeks.
I didn't have a long
Also,
weekend. I had to work on Friday.
yeah,
I
I
had
worked
a
on Friday as
weekend.
well. I've done nothing but work until this morning.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But yeah, nobody's got any money anyway at the moment.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the war in the Middle East has basically paralyzed logistics worldwide because nobody knows if they're going to be able to get any petrochemicals anymore. Then all of the economic bodies in the world are like assuming that there's going to be another recession, and they're all busy placing their bets on exactly what form it will take. Nobody is suggesting that things are going to go back to normal anytime soon.
never mind that.
No.
It could.
It's finally coming home to roost that prices of everything have gone up and wages have not gone to match, and all over the world. And this has been ongoing even and building even before
Oh yeah, I
the
mean, I
Iran
had
stuff.
this discussion. I had this discussion with somebody at work today. It's like the current business environment that we are in that is causing problems for us is just the knock-on effect of people refusing to acknowledge that printing tons of money during COVID was a bad thing. That's why everybody's been harping on about bad business conditions since that specific time. It is that specific event that kicked all of this into motion, economically speaking, that
Yeah,
put us in a position where, a tiny gust of wind was going to send the whole house of cards tumbling down, and a war over the Strait of Hormuz is exactly the sort of gust of wind necessary to cause everything to go tumbling down.
yeah, and you got
And tumble it do.
and yeah, it just people don't have disposable income right now. People don't have money to invest in anything right now because everything's so expensive. They're spending it on operating costs, basically. If you run a company and you see the prices of
I think
whatever
most
you
normal
sell,
people are spending all their money on operating costs for their actual lives.
yeah, like
It's not just businesses. Everybody is like, well, I need to put food on the table, so I guess I need to tighten up my discretionary spending.
yeah, the McDonald's index or the supermarket index of how much does bread cost compared to X time ago, like 4 years ago. How much does a Big Mac cost compared to 4 years ago? Oh, it's more than twice the price. Oh, well, there you go. That's how much your money got halved.
Because I don't go to fast food places like ever anymore.
Like, I,
How could I?
I can. I go to Chick-fil-A some about once a week in the mornings for breakfast and get their discount bulk chicken biscuit deal and eat that for breakfast. Like sometimes my only meal for the entire week.
I go to like local sort of like one-off run by some Chinese guy fast food outlets. I don't go to any chain stores because the chain stores cost like twice as much and you get half as much food. So I did go to Subway once this year, and their prices have not increased as much as I expected.
Yeah. So just because people don't have less money, they're not buying people. They're not buying crap.
Yeah, making a big announcement right now when everybody sort of like doesn't want to move because they're not sure if everything will break if they do, is not going to get much traction. It's just not a good time.
Yeah, pretty much any decision a business makes that's going to have risk right now is going to not pay out. I think people just ain't got the cash for it. You got to have something people really need, not just want right now, to continue operating to
And
put something out.
in in the industrial sector in New Zealand, I've probably seen more entities like go bankrupt and or into receivership this past like 12 months than at any other point in my adult life.
Yeah,
Like, it just keeps happening over and over again.
the only way I'm able to stay solvent is with public sector jobs right now. Just the government won't stop building crap. They need pumps, and that's the only thing I can do to keep myself afloat. Because it used to be like it'd be a 50-50 split between private and public sector jobs at the office. Not after 2020. Like the private sector ain't building crap. Nobody's got any cash.
I can't find anything that I would call news even looking now.
No, I'm not
Nothing
seeing
is
anything either.
happening.
So with that depressing
Wait,
thought, do we hang on? Do we have an email?
We
we
did
just read it.
We did. Uh, yeah, we did. So I think that's everything.
Yeah, there's really it'd be nice if there was something else to talk about, but there's really not.
oh, don't worry.
Like
It'll get more depressing as soon as companies really start integrating AI and laying people off to save more money. And then
Oh,
everybody,
that's already happening.
yeah, and once it hits
yeah,
critical
it's
mass
underway.
in the white collar sector, now nobody will have money and nobody will have a job.
I mean,
And everything will fail.
I'm under pressure from like the higher ups, like European higher ups in the company
Oh,
to add more automation. Nobody's handing me the capital to do that, but
no,
they'll
you
have to
just
give
need to
instructions.
magically have that.
Yeah, just wave my magic wand and bring it into existence. What could possibly go wrong?
That's totally how it works.
But yeah, it's just price hikes across the board. Like there's a reasonably well founded insider rumor that Intel's planning on just doing basically 10% price hikes across the board on all their CPUs. There are a bunch of relatively unfounded rumors that the RAM prices were about to crash, but I don't think that that's going to happen. It might if they really didn't ink those deals correctly. Like, I saw a RAM manufacturer saying they already had the purchase orders for the memory for like the next 2 seasons of production or whatever, but there are a lot of people who bought into that didn't actually have the liquidity to pay for it in time. But how that liability is going to get worked out remains to be seen. I don't think it's just going to result in prices crashing. That would be too convenient.
Is it bad that when you said Intel's raising prices on their CPUs by 10%, my brain went, "Oh, that's not that bad," relative to everything else that's been increasing in price.
Maybe a little.
Like that is the state of inflation in the economy right now. Is, oh, it's only going up by 10%. Oh, that's manageable. Like I see
But
5-10% price increases on the goods I sell from the factory. The factory's price to me, like, every 2-3 months.
there's still quite a lot of like development happening in the tech sector, even like the sort of things that people like us might be interested in, like CPUs and that, but they're all being developed in order to either be funneled into the AI sector or to be funneled into the war in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's constant burbling from various talking heads about pouring more technology into the war machine, or being poised to take advantage of peace in the Middle East, which they claim is going to arrive all of a sudden when this war is over in 30 seconds time, and this is going to be the opportunity to take over the Middle East with AI, etc. Like, there's a sort of delusional bullshit that is being used to direct development at the moment.
Look,
but none of it is directed at the consumer sector at all.
you may be able to temporarily stop active fighting for a brief number of months in the
Just
sandbox,
long enough to reload your gun.
but the sandbox for all of human history has been at war. You will never stop the sandbox from being at war. We have 5,000 years of historical record that just ain't happening, bro.
Or you could turn it all into glass.
I mean, yeah, you could delete the sandbox. That's your only option. But I don't think people want to go that route.
I don't think that there's really anything I don't think I've seen any news that hasn't been about, people trying to buy into the war machine, people trying to buy into the massive data center sector, or price hikes. Like that's like all of the topics of news in the tech sector for the past like month.
Yeah. Cooling is very sad. First stonks went down, but now they went up. All right. We should probably wrap it.
We should.
All right. Happy Easter, everybody. It's now actually Easter for me, so I can say that to you. So, we will see you next week. Hopefully, I will have more good news. I'll be going through HSR's main story sometime next week, probably, and I'll be finding a new single player game to play through now that I'm done with the Yakuza block call. I've got Neo 3 sitting around. I may try that out. And hopefully I'll come back with some good recommendations for you. I'm disappointed I couldn't tell you Gaiden was good and give you that as a recommendation, but if you took my advice at any point and picked up Lost Judgment, you're set for a few months. So I got a few weeks to dig up something else for you. So, all right. Y'all got anything?
Nope, that's it.
All right. We'll see you next week, hopefully